Nature did put up a front, but fortunately the delay ends up being about a half hour to the start of the 2024 regular season with Alexandria in Chaska for a matchup against the Hawks. Welcome to our Jugner Motors pregame show as we come to you from the Chaska High School Athletic Stadium. I am DMAC Dave McClurg. Tim Zupfer is along with me once again for our broadcast, and as Steve D noted, JP Boline is the videographer for this evening's coverage. Tim, first of all, welcome back to you for our broadcast coverage. I will look forward to partnering up with you for Alexandria Cardinal football and volleyball during the fall sports season. And I know that this Alexandria football program gave us a lot to feel great about in 2023. I get the feeling that it's going to be another exciting storyline, and it fortunately starts tonight.
Well, first of all, it's great to be back. Looking forward to both seasons, volleyball and the football. Really exciting to look at this roster. A lot of very familiar names still back on the roster. The squad did graduate some really good, solid senior leadership, but they have about 75-80% of their linemen back, and you got a 3-year starting quarterback back with a couple of wideouts and a kicker that is probably the best in the state. So it looks to be a really exciting season.
Yeah, we're looking forward to bringing you the coverage. Again, 8 regular season games. It is interesting. Alexandria actually begins its regular season on the road and ends its regular season on the road, sandwiched in between the 4 home games out of 6, including Homecoming 2024, which is on September 20th when Sartell visits Alexandria. We'd like to thank all of the Alexandria Cardinal sports boosters bringing you our broadcast coverage, whether it be on KXRA Radio, through your Voice of Alexandria app, and even the live video stream on YouTube. Again, you can go to the Voice of Alexandria live stream page to get the live video stream partnered with our KXRA audio. And again, JP Boline is the one running the camera tonight, and we look forward to having JP along. He's kind of the silent partner for a lot of our broadcasts, but he might actually do some multitasking when we get to the spring season. We might have a microphone in his direction as well. We've got Jackson as our KXRA studio engineer for the radio coverage at Master Control in downtown Alexandria. We'll take our first break here during the Jugner Motors pregame show. When we return, you'll hear my chat with the head coach of the defending Class 5A Section 8 champion Alexandria Cardinal football team. Mike Empting will be up with us after these words.
It's the right time for a getaway. It's the right time for a getaway. Let's get away.
Dentistry at the Center knows all about busy schedules, and that's one of the best things about having 3 dentists. We have more appointment times available, so we can see you sooner. So, for dentist appointments to fit your schedule better, come see the friendly folks at Dentistry at the Center.
Welcome to the spirit of Lake Town hospitality. Welcome to D. Mike's Resort Bar and Grill. From legacy locals, seasonal visitors, to traveling teams, you are our community. Come share in our rustic flavors, modern flair, and authentic roots. Legacy inspired, community infused.
Grow your savings faster with Bell Bank's new Elite Money Market Savings Account. Earn 4.33% annual percentage yield and access your cash when you need it. Switch to higher savings rates today. Visit bell.bank to learn more.
I see generations who are passionate about what they did. I hope that I can leave a legacy of compassion for people and love for family and friends.
Getting in and out of the pharmacy is easy with Trum Drug's app, Rx Local. Download the app, choose Trum Drug as your pharmacy, use it for medication refills and reminders. Trum Drug, locally owned, locally loved.
Who do you turn to if you or a loved one is experiencing a mental health crisis? We're here. Region 4 South Mobile Crisis Team will come to you by calling 701-364-0431.
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles to Quality Toyota to get a great deal, and we've done it 13 times.
Quality Toyota.
Premier Collision guarantees your full satisfaction. From a simple dent to major bodywork, Premier Collision will fix your vehicle right. Stop by for a free estimate or go to premiercollisionmn.com. Premier Collision, excellent results, a friendly attitude, and fair prices.
Pomp's Tire Service has solutions for tired tires. Whatever your tire choice, make Pomp's your choice. Brakes, wheel alignments, factory maintenance, shocks, and struts. Pomp's has your service needs covered. Pomp's, we know tires and service. You should know Pomp's.
As Mike Empting is joining us through our various methods, KXRA Radio, the Voice of Alexandria app, and the live video stream on YouTube. Mike, it was a memorable 2023 campaign. Your guys made it all the way to the Final Four in Class 5A a year ago. I know that we've had several months elapsed since the playoff run, which carried into November and everything, but in spite of that loss to St. Thomas Academy, have you been already looking forward to this year for quite a while?
Yeah, I think anytime you end the season the way we did, or have the season that we did, we were undefeated up till that point, won the, obviously win the district, come out of the section, and get a couple of state tournament games. It gets you a little bit excited, especially when we had a young team. We had young kids out there playing. We had some really outstanding seniors, and we lost some really amazing football players from that squad. But we also had a lot of young kids out there that were coming back. And now they're seniors this year. Some of them are juniors. So yeah, it kind of gets you excited for what could happen, I guess, here in 2024. And also the way that game went down last year. We came out of the gates just, blazing hot. And then things kind of cooled off for us, and St. Thomas picked up, and we gave up that lead, and, that was just a hard way to end the season. It was an amazing season, but just a tough way to lose it. And, like I say, every team in the state's looking for a way to win that last one. And, there's only in Minnesota 7, I guess, that, get to end with a win. But, it was a great season. We had some amazing players. It was a great run, even in spite of that last one. That was an incredible football team.
I want to tie back to an event that was held after the season was completed, and that was the postseason celebration banquet, if you will, that was held for the Alexandria football players, the coaches, and their families as well. And it kind of ties into this year because at last year's banquet, the captains for this year's football team were revealed. And it kind of blew my mind that there's such a large group of captains of this year's team. Is that a sign that there's a healthy amount of respect for this group of senior captains that you have?
Yeah, I think so. There was, the voices were pretty clear. I try to gather as much input from, not only players, but teachers, counselors, administrators, around the building. And like I said, the voices were very clear that, there were a lot of potential leaders there, and it was hard to, draw a line. Usually I like 3 or 4, but this year it was different. And I think that does, speak volumes about, the quality of kids that we have in this class, strong leadership. And, here through the first 3 weeks of the season, through our summer, even the off season, these guys have been up front. I mean, they've been leaders. They have really, I think, set the tone for the direction that the football team is going to head. They've been strong, positive leaders. And when you have a decent size, senior class, we have 25, which is pretty good for us. And we have that many captains chosen out of that many, and we got a big squad. So I mean, it takes a lot of kids to lead a big club as well. They're great kids, and the whole senior class has been outstanding so far this season. And this season is going to go the way those guys steer us. So
I would think that they will steer you in a very good direction, and hopefully that starts on this Thursday night at the Chaska High School football stadium. Mike, leading up to this point as you embark on the 2024 regular season, What become the points of emphasis during preseason training? I know there's been the opportunity to scrimmage, but obviously you've had a lot of good workouts too.
Yeah, I know it's been a great, great summer, great first 3 weeks here, 2 weeks of general, getting ready. And, really those first 2 weeks are us just learning ourselves, learning our own systems, learning our offense, our defense. We've got to get our special teams installed. So we're learning, how we're going to operate. And we had a lot of guys who played last year, so that learning curve was, pretty steep start. I mean, those guys came out of the gate, even up at UMD in June. We were able to do some things kind of ahead of schedule up there. And then, this last week here, we've been getting ready for Chaska. So now we're getting ready we're learning an opponent, and not just learning an opponent, but then learning how our systems fit against, the opponent, how our offensive system works against that defense, how our defensive system is going to work against that offense, and what we need to do within our systems on the defensive side to stop what Chaska is going to do. So, then it gets a little bit, that's when the challenges, start to happen. The first 2 weeks are hard because, we're getting into shape and we're doing the learning and that sort of thing. And, now we got our first challenge in our opponent and making, again, our systems work against what they're going to try to do to us. So it's been a great first 3 weeks. We've had a good week of preparation. Anytime we start, that initial preparation against an opponent, I count on the first couple of days to be, a little bit sloppy because we're, trying to learn them, trying to figure them out, and how our systems work against them. And of course it's a short week, so yesterday's Monday, Tuesday was kind of that way. Yesterday was better. Usually we have an extra day to prepare in there and polish it up. But yesterday, we got a lot of questions answered. We look much sharper than we did on Monday and Tuesday. So we should come in tonight. Our biggest thing, especially early in the season, is don't beat ourselves with alignment or assignment mistakes. We have to be solid with our alignments on both sides of the ball. We have to be solid on assignments on both sides of the ball. And if our kids are confident in those two things, then they can play fast. And if they're playing fast, then good things are going to happen because we've got good athletes. We've got good football players in the right positions.
Our guest during this part of our Jotner Motors pregame show is the head coach of the Alexandria Cardinal football team, Mike Emting. The Cardinals are in the Twin Cities Metro for a Thursday night game against the Chaska Hawks. We will look forward to bringing you the play-by-play coming up in just a little while. I know, Mike, that the schedule here in 2024 is basically the same, except the sites of the opponents have been flipped. So Alexandria actually bookends the regular season with a pair of road games and then 4 out of 6 at home in between. So I was kind of keeping Chaska on the radar after the season opener last year. And I know that your guys dominated Chaska up in Alexandria, but still the Hawks had a pretty respectable year. I think they may have won a playoff game to get into the section semifinals. And boy, they've got a winning culture, I think about 5 years or so removed from a state championship of their own. What do you know about this opponent that you're going to be facing for a second consecutive year that probably had some turnover, as did Alexandria?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Chaska, after our game, really turned upward. I mean, they ended the season strong. They had a pretty respectable season, which to me is indicative of a team that's either young or just inexperienced, And I think that was kind of the case because the year prior, 2022, they had a deep playoff push. Again, I think they were a senior-led team that year, which means they probably had some inexperience out there last year. They've got some starters coming back from that season, so I think they're kind of in the same boat that we were actually last year. Or the previous year, we played a lot of young kids, got a lot of experience, and then we came back and made a big push in 23. And also, honestly, I think we may have snuck up on them a little bit last year. I don't think they, never played Chaska before. I don't think they quite knew, what they were getting into, coming out here to outstate Minnesota and, all those things. So I think we may have surprised them a little bit with the way we played and how good our athletes were. and that sort of thing. We're not going to surprise them this year. A lot of the players that are going to be on the field for them tonight probably were out there last year and remember that football game. So I think they were probably a pretty motivated football team tonight. And like I said, they've got some experience back. They don't look too bad on video. We exchanged scrimmage video, which oftentimes is kind of vanilla, especially when you're going to be exchanging that video with your first opponent. But they're big up front. They're physical on both sides of the ball. They've got good athletes, a couple of tall receivers out on the outside, a quarterback that can get the ball to them. They've got a real quick slot receiver and a pretty capable quarterback. Throws the ball really well. They use him in the run game quite a bit. Their defense actually looks a lot like our defense. They run primarily an odd front. They run similar stunts to what we do. They're big up front. They're athletic on the backside. So, again, I thought they looked pretty decent in the scrimmage. They had a really nice end of the season last year. They're going to be much improved from that game, that team that we saw first game last year.
Mike, what do you feel are going to be the things that will separate your team from the Chaska Hawks in a positive way? I guess that's a roundabout question of keys to the game, but what has to happen?
Sure. Well, a couple of things. Again, early season, it's going to come down to fewest mistakes. And for us, that's going to mean, again, alignment and assignment. We have to make sure Chaska is multi-formation on the offensive side. So we're, or at least they have been. They didn't show that in the scrimmage, but we saw that last year. That's what that's what they've done. So I expect to see multiple formations, which challenges us. We got to get lined up right against all those formations. Again, that learning curve, learning our opponent. So that's a big thing. And then offensively, it's going to come down. We got to take care of the football. We've got good athletes. We have kids that can make plays. I think we're very solid up front, but we just can't turn the football over. Early in the season, special teams. I think we're going to hold the edge there. Daniel kicking and punting the ball has looked amazing, as can be expected. He's really stepped up punting. I mean, he is punting the ball so much better. I think he's going to be a weapon for us if we ever have to get in that situation where we got to flip the field, with a punt or something like that. But early season special teams, sometimes teams don't have enough time or haven't put the time in yet to those special teams. And, we've put the time in. Hopefully we can swing an advantage there with a return or a block or, something, get some field position, that sort of thing.
Final wrap-up for the conversation. This is the second consecutive year that Alexandria and Chaska will be playing one another. And ironically, it was 50 autumns ago in the fall of 1974 when the Alexandria Cardinal football team won the state championship, the only state title to this point, and it came against Chaska at a venue that's no longer around, Parade Stadium in Minneapolis. But it is kind of unique that Chaska and Alexandria do have the opportunity to play again. But will this year's Alexandria football team be recognizing and or celebrating the 1974 team at all, being that it is now 50 years?
Yeah, we do have something planned for our homecoming week. And yeah, 50 years, the only football state champion that we've had here. So yeah, we're going to pay tribute to that squad. I think a long time coming, undefeated season for that group. Yeah, and they, I guess you could say they started this tradition. They put the first state championship up there, set the bar up there, for all the teams to follow. So yeah, over homecoming will be, we have something planned for that group. Yep.
Very good. Mike, best wishes to you and the Alexandria Cardinals. Thanks so much for the insight before the game. I look forward to connecting with you each week throughout the high school football season. And who knows, maybe we have a championship run here in 2024. That would be so symbolic to make a magnificent run just like the 74 team did.
No pressure, right?
Yeah, I know.
Thanks, D-Mac.
Yeah, very good. There is the head coach of the Alexandria Cardinals football team of 2024. He's Mike Empting, and he's our special guest as part of our Jutna Motors pregame show.
And we are coming to you from the Chaska High School Stadium, still a couple of minutes away from the start of tonight's varsity football game. Still overcast in the area, maybe a few scattered showers, but fortunately the stormy weather, which rumbled through the area during the late afternoon. I know that much of the east central part of the state had severe weather watches and warnings going into the early evening hours, but even most of the Twin Cities metro area has now been lifted from a severe thunderstorm watch. So I think a lot of the prep games and even some of the college football games being played down here tonight may get started after a little bit of a delay, but we look forward to bringing you the play-by-play of Alexandria versus Chaska in the 2024 season opener. We will feature each of the 8 regular season Alexandria Cardinal football games home and away right here on KXRA Radio. Live video streaming through our YouTube page. You can access that when you go to our website at voiceofalexandria.com. Head to the sports link and then the drop-down menu from there and look for the Cardinal Sports Live event. Click that on and that will send you to our YouTube page so that you can watch the proceedings live to go along with our KXRA audio. We've got JP Boleen as our videographer, Tim Zupfer, and yours truly, Dave McClurg, with the play-by-play. And we thank Jutner Motors for bringing you our pregame show. Jutner Motors will also present the postgame report coming up a little bit later tonight here on People Radio, KXRA, through your Voice of Alexandria app, and also on YouTube through our The Voice of Alexandria live stream page. We'll take a break, and then we will return to Chaska, and we'll set the scene and have the play-by-play of Alexandria Cardinal football. It's just moments away. Right now, we will hear these words from our Alexandria Cardinal Sports Boosters.
Precision Auto reminds you to plan for the inevitable, the change of weather and its impact on your vehicle. From simple tune-ups to major repairs, trust the precision of a pro. Precision Auto. On 8th and Nokomis, Alexandria.
North Central International. Heavy-duty truck service on long haulers, dump trucks, buses, and specialized heavy-duty rigs. Medium and heavy-duty parts and accessories for all makes of trucks. Just south of I-94 and Highway 29 South in Alexandria.
Life can sometimes feel like you're navigating through construction. You hit a detour, run out of gas, or you're going the wrong way on a one-way street. But Lakeland Mental Health Center is here to help you get back to the right path. Visit lmhc.org. Help today for a better tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving. Most of my crew has been here for decades.
The reason I've been here for so long is I love the variety and I love the different tasks throughout the day. A chance to operate many different pieces of equipment in any day.
Working here, I definitely like working with the crew. The guys are involved in training you and definitely help developing you as a person.
If I was looking for a place of employment, I would definitely apply here.
Give me a call and visit my website because we're hiring and I want to talk to you about your next career with us.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
So talk with your kids, because when you talk, they hear you.
Garden Center features 34 lanes of bowling fun. Whether you're an avid bowler or just looking for a fun outing, add Garden Center lanes to your calendar and make it a fun date.
On the field, a lot of people know me as number 11. Off the field, I appreciate how First Western Bank and Trust bankers take the time to learn about me and never treat me as just a number. You too can bank where you'll never be just an account number.
Thank you for sharing a part of your Thursday evening with us. It's Alexandria Cardinal football coverage on KXRA Radio, 1490 AM, 100.3 FM, and 105.7 FM in Polk County. Live audio through your Voice of Alexandria app, powered by Mission Mechanical Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. And you can also join us via YouTube. You can go to our website, voiceofalexandria.com, to gain access to the Voice of Alexandria live stream page on YouTube to get the live video partnered with our KXRA audio. I did not get a complete starting lineup for the Chaska Hawks. Brian Dahl is the head coach of the Chaska football team. So we'll try to incorporate the names of the Hawks football players as we go along throughout the course of tonight's game. We can tell you that Alexandria does have a veteran team, even though a great nucleus of seniors graduated with the class of 2024. They've got a strong group of seniors back here in 2024, making up that class of 2025. And as Tim Zupper mentioned just a short time ago, earlier during our Juntner Motors pregame, that is including a 3-year starting quarterback, that being Chase Thompson. And the Alexandria Cardinals were able to win the coin toss. They have deferred the choice to the start of the second half. So Daniel Jackson will kick off for Alexandria. And Tim, I would probably lay even money that this ball is going to go into the end zone so that Chaska starts on the 20.
Well, I think there's a good chance of that. Actually, it was announced that Alexandria had chosen to receive, which surprised me. But they are indeed kicking off here.
So the Alexandria Cardinals, as you watch on YouTube, will have the light-colored jersey tops and pants. Basically, the white jerseys, red numerals, white pants. Chaska is wearing the dark-colored jerseys and the white pants. The school colors at Chaska High School are purple and white. And as expected, the kickoff goes into the end zone for Daniel Jackson. So he boots it down the field, and Chaska will start with the football on its own 20-yard line. As you do watch the live video on YouTube, Chaska will be flowing left to right, and that is also the vantage point that we have here in the press box. I do want to give a special shout out and a big thank you to a couple of the Alexandria Cardinal assistant football coaches, Jordan Scherber and Russ Hinrichs. They basically gave up their spot indoors to allow us and JP to have our broadcast equipment inside. The quarterback is Matthew Welter for the Chaska Hawks. He does have Quinn Meyer as his running back, and the Hawks are going to work the football up the middle, and it will be very close to a first down there on the carry for the Chaska running back. They also had Anabie Udafo in the backfield, and I believe it will be forward progress to the 30-yard line.
Talon Witt and Matt Kite in on that tackle.
Introducing Alexandria's defensive front, they've got Blake Scholl and Dean Lemke as the ends. The tackles, Jack Morissette and Evan Zabel. The linebacking core, Brett Thornburg, Brody Berg, Sam Anderson and Trey Peffer, Evan Clute, Dane Olson, and Talon Witt in the secondary. Out of the shotgun, the quarterback, Meyer, will fake the handoff. He's going to roll to the left. He's got some room to run, and he'll be escorted out of bounds. But that's going to be about a gain of 8 on the keeper for the quarterback, Welter.
I think we had a flag on a play.
Yep, and that's probably going to nullify that running gain by the quarterback.
Talon Witt in on that tackle as well.
So we'll see if it indeed is a defensive penalty. Nope, it's going to be an illegal shift on Chaska. I believe that will be a 5-yard walk-off and a repeat of the first down.
It usually means 2 men were in motion.
So rather than a second and a couple of yards, it'll be a first down, and the ball will be placed back at the 25-yard line. So 1st and 15 for the Chaska Hawks. Chaska competes in the North Star South Gold Sub-District. That sub-district produced the Class 5A state champion last year, that being the Chanhassen Storm. Chaska and Chanhassen did play each other. They are cross-district rivals, and Chanhassen won that game last year 21-0. They'll play each other late in the regular season here in 24. Here's a good snap back to Meyer, and he's going to hand off to Adolfo, and he's going to get into that second level, and he'll pick up the penalty yardage and about 5 more, so it'll be a gain of close to 10 yards.
Talon Witt and Brett Thornburg in on that tackle.
So a second down and a manageable for the Chaska Hawks. Just underway here in Chaska. We had a 30-minute weather delay. Second down and 4 coming up for the Hawks as they've got the football at their own 36-yard line. Quarterback Welter is going to keep it, and he tucks in going under the right side of that offensive line, and he'll burrow forward, and I think he's got enough yardage for the first down.
Trey Peffer, one of the gentlemen in on that tackle.
Yeah, they'll spot the football right at the 40, so a pickup of 4, and this time the run by the quarterback Welter will count, and it'll be a Hawks first down. So Chaska, on its initial series of the night, already a little more productive in the first half in Alexandria last year. The Hawks only had 1 first down, and ultimately Alexandria was able to win big. Now a delayed handoff, and Alexandria was able to read that well, and little to no gain for the ball carrier. I believe that was Morgan Engelman that toted the rock there for Chaska.
Yeah, it was a high snap, and Evan Zabel was in on the tackle. He had some help. I didn't catch the number.
So it'll be second down and 10 coming up here for Chaska. Again, overcast conditions. Sky's actually starting to clear a little bit off to the south. Ball resting at the Hawks 40-yard line. As you watch on YouTube tonight, Chaska in this first period of play is advancing left to right. Quarterback Welter out of the shotgun, gets a good snap, pitch to the left side. The catch is made, and the receiver, Trey Castilla III, is able to turn to the outside, and he'll be very close to a first down if he did not get forward progress to move the sticks.
Yeah, one of our defensive backs over there forcing him out of bounds was Dane Olson.
And it will be forward progress right up to midfield, so that will be a pickup of 10 yards and a Chaska first down.
Chaska's been coming to the line and doing a lot of shifting. It looks like the Cardinals are, making the adjustments and getting where they need to be, but Chaska just been a little bit sharper getting off the ball.
So the Hawks have started from their own 20-yard line and have advanced the football out to midfield in the first 3 minutes of tonight's game. Here is Welter, and it's going to be a counter coming to the right side, and the running back, the receiver turned into a running back. Trey Castilla III will get to the right side and pick up about 8 yards.
Yeah, kind of a reverse there that time, and Evan Clute in on that tackle.
So Chaska really doing a nice job of positive gains. Their only negative was the 5-yard penalty earlier on in this series. It'll be second down and 3 yards to go for the Chaska Hawks. They've got the football on the Alexandria side of the field at the 43. We are scoreless in the opening period. Tim Zuffer and yours truly, Dave McClurg, with the broadcast. Handoff straight forward is the running back Udofo, and I think he'll pick up about 5 yards, and that's going to move the sticks once more for a Chaska first down.
Jack Morissette and Brett Thornburg, among others, in on that tackle.
They'll actually credit the running back for a gain of 6, and already he's had 26 yards on 3 carries on his opening series for Chaska. Very good-looking drive for the host Hawks on opening night. The line of scrimmage now is the Alexandria 37-yard line. Here is Welter in the shotgun, gets a good snap. He's going to throw deep left side, and it's going to be broken up. A battle for the possession between senior receiver Jacob Welter, and in coverage there was senior cornerback Dane Olson.
Yeah, just one-on-one solo coverage there. Good Dane Olson in good position there, able to knock it away.
So that does stop the clock with a little more than 4 minutes elapsed here in the opening period. 7:55 our time remaining in the quarter. Glenwood State Bank will bring you our scoreboard updates, and right now we've got donuts on the board. Alexandria nothing, Chaska nothing. The Hawks started with this series at their own 20-yard line and have now moved to the Alexandria 37. Here is a handoff and a short gain here. Udolfo, it looked like he got slowed down right near the line of scrimmage. He may have picked up about 3, maybe only 2 yards on the play.
Trey Peffer with a penetration that time and tackle.
And this is the first time in this evening's game that the Hawks are going to face a third down on what's going to be the 10th play of the series.
Probably 4-down territory.
Yeah, I would presume with the ball at the Alexandria 35-yard line. Here is Welter, the quarterback. He is pressured, and down he goes in the backfield at the 43-yard line.
I believe that was Talon Witt on the blitz.
Yeah, he stunted in, and he's able to drop the quarterback, and that's going to be a loss of 6 yards, and that may force the head coach Brian Dahl to maybe reconsider and possibly punt the football away here. If you play a possession game, you might be trying to pin Alexandria deep. Evan Kloot is going to go back to receive for Alexandria. He'll stand inside his own 10-yard line. The punter is Quinn Meyer for the Chaska Hawks. The line of scrimmage is the Cardinal 43. Meyer punts it high. It's not deep, though. Now the Alexandria players need to get away from the ball, and it takes a back bounce and will be down at the 25-yard line. So that punt ended up going 18 yards. And Alexandria will start 1st and 10 at the Cardinals' 25-yard line. So though Alexandria did yield a total of 4 first downs on that series, the defense stiffened and the Cardinals did get a third down stop. Let's introduce the Alexandria Cardinal offensive unit here. It's centered by Ashton Sladek. Joe Martinson and Dylan Gray are the 2 guards. Jack Morissette and Evan Zabel are the 2 tackles. The receivers include Evan Kloot and Thomas Hinrichs, along with Samson Hegstrom and Mason Gorghuber. Running back is Mac Height, and the quarterback is the 3-year senior starter, Chase Thompson. He works out of the shotgun with 3 receivers to the right. It's a pump fake. He's going to throw, and it's caught, almost caught. I thought Mason Gorghuber had it in his breadbasket out near the 40-yard line, but the ball falls incomplete, so play stopped. It'll be 2nd down.
Mason usually very sure-handed. I'm sure he's frustrated he didn't hang on to that one.
Yep, it wouldn't surprise me if Chase Thompson goes back to him quite soon here. Trips to the right side. Samson Hegstrom, the lone receiver, on the left. And now Evan Kloot will go further to the right side. Thompson is going to step up. Now he shoots it over the middle, and that was into traffic. And Mason Gorghuber was covered up like a blanket there, and the Cardinals may feel a little bit fortunate that that ball was not intercepted.
Yeah, there were 3 defenders there.
So 3rd down and 10. Chaska's defense will try to make a stand here and try to force the Alexandria Cardinals into a 3-and-out. We have 6:18 to go in a scoreless first period here at Chaska. It's Tim Zupfer and yours truly, DMAC, Dave McClurg with the broadcast. J.P. Boleen from the Alexandria Area High School class of 2018 is our videographer for this evening's live coverage on YouTube.
They might take a shot here.
Now you've got 2 receivers on each side. Thompson will throw as he's got time. He is going to air it out over the middle, and there's Evan Kloot open inside the 25-yard line, and he'll be ankle tackled. And Tim, you made the correct call there. They did go up top.
Well, you know, they were just blanketing Gorghuber. I just figured that they were going to get a shot with Evan going deep.
So it goes Chase Thompson to Evan Kloot. And Alexandria immediately flips the field there on a 55-yard pass completion, and it's 1st down. And the Cardinals are threatening to get the first points of the game. Now at the edge of the Alex Rubbish and Recycling red zone. Thompson fakes the handoff to Mac Height. He's going to tuck the football in, then lunges forward inside the 15-yard line. Looks like he'll pick up about 6. Nope, looks like it'll be a 5-yard gain on the quarterback keeper.
Yeah, it was a zone read there that time, and I think Coach Henting does want Chase to pick his spots and run a little bit more this year.
That was the first running play of the night for the Alexandria Cardinals. Again, Mac Height in the backfield along with quarterback Chase Thompson. Thompson working out of the gun here. Gets a good snap. Pitch left side. Caught by Hagstrom. He'll turn inside the 10-yard line, and that will be enough for an Alexandria first down. Goal to go for the Cardinals.
Yeah, just a little, looked like a little button hook pattern, and well-timed. The pass was there right as he made his break.
It'll be a pickup of 8, so Chase Thompson has started his senior season 2 for 4, 63 yards. Both of his pass completions have resulted in first downs. The Cardinals have the ball on the Chaska 7-yard line. Here is Thompson handing off. Mac Height churning forward close to the goal line. I think he stopped maybe a yard and a half shy, but a pickup of a good 5 yards there for the senior Mac Height.
Yeah, he got through that line, and he got stood up just short of the goal line.
This will be the 7th play of the series coming up. The Alexandria Cardinal faithful hoping it will be the first scoring play of 2024. Cardinals need less than 2 yards to get into the end zone, and it's Thompson calling his own number, and he got smothered in between the 1 and 2 yard lines. That wall was set up by the Chaska front line, and they denied Thompson access to the end zone there, so it'll be 3rd and goal at the 2.
Like we brought in Brody Berg maybe as a tight end or blocking back here.
Alexandria did convert on 3rd down earlier. They will try to do it here as we're about to go under 4 minutes remaining in a scoreless first quarter. Thompson working out of the shotgun, gets a high snap, handoff, and Mac Height is into the end zone. It's an Alexandria Cardinal touchdown. Good blocking up front from the likes of Ashton Sladek and Joe Martinson on that left side. And Mac Height is able to score from a couple of yards out. And the visitors get on the board here in the first period. It is 6-0 for Alexandria. And now Daniel Jackson is in to try the extra point. Evan Clute will be the holder, and Blake Scholl is the long snapper. The ball about to be put in play. The placement down by Evan Clute, and the kick by Jackson is up and good. We will take a 30-second timeout here on KXRA Radio, and as you watch the game on YouTube as well, 3:55 remains in the first quarter. Glenwood State Bank School Board in prep football has Alexandria leading at Chaska 7-0.
At Erickson's, we're your go-to experts for your furnace, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical. We have prompt and courteous service because your comfort is our commitment.
Erickson's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
A successful win isn't about the score. It's about what you put into the game. If a successful win matters to you on the purchase or sale of your property, hard work matters to me. Todd Whiting, Century 21, 766-2200.
Alexandria Cardinal Sports Boosters helping to bring you our coverage. The Alexandria Cardinals on their first series of 2024 go 75 yards in 8 plays. 1 third down conversion put the Alexandria Cardinals in scoring territory, and the other third down conversion resulted in a touchdown, and Alexandria now has a 7-0 lead. And as we saw earlier, senior Daniel Jackson boots the ensuing kickoff into the end zone, forcing the Chaska Hawks to start with the football at their own 25-yard line.
That one went through the uprights, Dave.
Oh, geez. Oh, good heavens. Yeah, well, you know, he's got a great leg, and I know that Coach Mike Empting was sharing during our pregame show. He really feels that Daniel Jackson has improved leaps and bounds as a punter. Now, hopefully we won't have to see that very often, but it is a nice weapon to have. He kind of feels that Daniel Jackson can kind of flip the field with his ability to punt the ball. Now we've got the quarterback, Welter, and he hands off, and the running back there, Quinn Meyer, could not get to the outside. It will be little to no gain there, and it will be 2nd down and 10.
That tackle was by number 5, Thomas Henricks.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, I see Thomas Henricks and Mason Witt and Talon Witt, and they seem like you know, old friends, if you will, and they're already in their senior year. I mean, it's where has the time gone?
Those guys are juniors, but
yeah. So, second down and 10 yards to go for the Chaska Hawks as they've got the ball at their own 20-yard line. Now a good snap. Here's a pitch to the left side, and the catch is made. That will be Trey Castilla III, and that will be his second reception of the night. It will bring up a third down for the Hawks. They need a little less than 5. We'll call it third down and 4 with the football resting at Chaska's 26-yard line.
Dane Olson in on that tackle, and we now have Mason Gorghuber in at the other corner. He and Evan Clute are going to split time at that position.
Yeah, and that's a couple of really talented guys to have on the field, even if they alternate snaps. Here is some pressure, and the pass right side is batted away.
Guess who just batted that away?
It was Mason Gorghuber doing a nice job covering the intended receiver. I believe that was Tyler Forrest for the Hawks. So a 3 and out by the Alexandria defense. So the Cardinals do make a stand on their second series of the game, and the punting unit will be back out for Chaska for a second time. Now the first punt by Quinn Meyer earlier traveled just 18 yards. He got it high, but he did not get it very deep. Evan Clute will stand just shy of midfield. He is at the 40-yard line. And snap is high, ball placed down, and again, fair catch is being called for, and Clute will make it at his own 42-yard line. And that will bring us to a stoppage of play. 2:24 to go in the opening period. We'll make it a 30-second timeout as well. Glenwood State Bank scoreboard in prep football. It's Alexandria 7, Chaska no score.
Cenex Midtown Express has fresh made pizza, lunch and breakfast sandwiches, and broaster chicken, live bait, propane, and diesel fuel. Cenex Garfield has groceries, bait, and tackle, and made to order pizza. Cenex Midtown Express, Alexandria, and Cenex Garfield.
Fresh, family, locally loved. Eldon's Fresh Foods. Eldon's Fresh Foods.
As we come back to live action, Mac Height will get the carry on the first down, and he'll bring the football up to midfield. So a pickup of about 8 there on the first play of the second series for the Cardinals.
Right side of the line, opening up a nice hole for him.
So it'll be a second down and short, and Alexandria is showing a little tempo here on this particular series. Here's Thompson. He'll fake the handoff, and he'll roll to the left side, right near the first down marker. Now he turns the corner. He's inside the 45, and he'll scamper out of bounds around the 42-yard line, and that should be a first down on a pickup of about 8 yards.
Yeah, nice job of avoiding a couple tacklers there.
So Alexandria has its third first down of the game. Cardinals scored on their opening series earlier and now have the football on the Hawks side of the field. And it looks like now we have a stoppage in play as the Cardinals will have the opportunity to talk things over with their coaches along the sidelines. Tim, your impressions of what we've seen develop here in the first quarter after the 30-minute weather delay?
Well, you know, the first drive by Chaska, they really moved the ball nicely down the field, but it looked like that, you know, that second series, our defense was able to make some adjustments and really stifle them there. And, of course, it was really nice to see the Cardinals, you know, have a nice scoring drive, their first possession of the season. I think this timeout might be just a hydration timeout here.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
it might have been called by the defense, but I'm thinking it might have been just an official's one.
Yeah, you know, it was called by Chaska. I see that they had one timeout taken off the board on the scoreboard.
It's not real warm. It's still humid, but
yes,
it's low 70s.
Yeah, our good weather friend Less Humid is on the way from the western part of the state. But right now, after the thunderstorm activity, it's cooled down. I believe it was 72 degrees at game time, but our dew point was at 68. So still a little bit of mugginess in the air on this Thursday night. First and 10 for the Alexandria Cardinals as they've got the ball at the Chaska Hawks 41-yard line, up by 7, under 2 minutes to go in the first period. Here's Mason Gorghuber working to the right to make it 3 receivers on the right side. Chase Thompson, the quarterback, gets a good snap. Now he'll scramble, and he's rolling to the right. Still has it behind the line of scrimmage. Now he's going to run and pick up about 4 or 5 yards. It's almost like, Tim, that was an opportunity, an option, but Chase saw some room to run in front of him, and, helps to make it a second and manageable here.
Look, they covered our 3 receivers out to the right. It looked like pretty well, and there was just a lot of space for Chase to take off, so he took advantage of that. We haven't really seen our bubble screen yet. I'm kind of waiting to see that one.
So second down and 8 yards to go. Only a gain of 2 on the last play for Thompson. He drops back to pass, and here is the screen, if you will, to Mac Height on the right side. He eludes one defender, and I believe he scampers inside the 30-yard line. It'll be a first down for the Alexandria Cardinals.
Yeah, it wasn't a screen to one of our receivers, but it was a screen to Mac Height out of the backfield.
And that's going to pick up about 10 yards, and Alexandria will move the sticks. 4th first down of the game for the Alexandria Cardinals, as Mac Height has his first reception of the 2024 season. Under 80 seconds to go in the first period. It's Alexandria 7, Chaska nothing. Here is a handoff, and Mac Height tries the left side. He kind of got stood up around the 27-yard line, and then other pursuit came in for the Hawks, and Height will get about 3 hard-earned yards there for the Cards.
Yeah, he had an initial gain there, but the linebackers filled in very nicely for Chaska and stood him up at that point.
So second down and a short 7 here for the Alexandria Cardinals, as the receiver Samson Hagstrom in motion to the right side, making that trips to the right. Here's Thompson looking to his left, now looking to his right. He'll throw to the right side, and the receiver is Hagstrom, and I think he worked the way down the sideline. And I think the catch may have come with a foot out of bounds. It's going to be an incomplete pass.
Yeah, he just wasn't quite able to handle that one. I don't know if he just misstepped a little bit, or the pass wasn't quite where Thompson wanted it. But, boy, it was a nice play call because he was wide open down that sideline. They both went with Evan Clute.
Third down and 7 yards to go for the Cardinals. They've got the football at the Chaska 26-yard line, up by 7. And we're down to just over 20 seconds remaining in the first period. Now Chase Thompson setting his running back to the left, and here's a pitch right side, catch made. It's going to be a first down, and that was just a little slant to the right side, and Mason Gorghuber was able to haul it in.
Yeah, he found the open seam there and then made a great move after the catch.
And I believe that will be a gain of 12 and likely be the final play of our first period of play. So the Cardinals able to get a third down conversion, and we will move to quarter number 2 in 1 minute. Through one period on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard as you watch on YouTube and listen on YouTube, as well as KXRA Radio and your Voice of Alexandria app. Through a period, Alexandria leads at Chaska 7-0.
Enjoy life at the lake and work for a growing company that offers rewarding careers and cares about your well-being. Agard. We build cool machines and are hiring for multiple positions across the organization. Plus, no-cost health benefits for you and your family.
Better water starts with EcoWater. Get started today and discover EcoWater's products and expertise for the perfect solution. Visit WeFixWaterMN.com with offices in Alexandria, Fergus Falls, Glenwood, and Morris.
Feel confident. Feel inspired. Embrace your unique beauty at 6th and Broadway Clothing. From expertly curated collections to personalized styling and color analysis services, you can embrace style as beautiful as you.
I'm a nurse at heart. I went into this to take care of other people.
What we say as nurses and as teammates matters here.
Come on over, you'll love it. You will get to experience so many things and help many people.
Let's tell you the crew that's helping to bring you our broadcast. First of all, our studio engineer at KXRA in downtown Alexandria is Jackson. The voices you're hearing for the coverage, Tim Zupfer is my broadcast partner, and I am DMAC Dave McClurg. The silent partner we have with us in Chaska tonight is our videographer, Alexandria Area High School graduate Jackson J.P. Boleen. As we begin the second quarter, Alexandria leads by a score of 7-0. The Cardinals are back in the Alex Rubbish and Recycling red zone with the ball at the 14-yard line. Here is a handoff, and the running back for the Cardinals will get inside the 15-yard line, but maybe a yard for Brody Berg. So second down, actually no gain on that last carry for Berg. Now as you view on YouTube, Alexandria is working left to right. The Cardinals wearing the light-colored jerseys, the white tops, white pants, red piping, red numerals on the back of the Alexandria uniform. Chaska wearing the dark-colored jersey tops. They are purple with white. Here's another handoff. Berg breaks a tackle, now gets close to the end zone, and he was able to make it a first down and goal. Tim, I thought Berg was going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden it's like he ducked and he had room to run.
Yeah, it was almost like it was the same exact play, but he was just a step quicker hitting a hole that time and broke the first tackler and then had 10, 12 yards before he got touched.
So it'll be first down and goal to go at the 3-yard line. So that's a gain of 11 on the last carry for Brody Berg. Cardinals trying to convert their second offensive series into points. Here's Chase Thompson handing off. Berg left side to the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Good push by the left side of the line that time.
And it'll be a 3-yard scoring run. Gives some credit to guys on the outside such as Evan Zabel and Joe Martinson helping to make up the left side of that O-line for Alexandria. And the Cardinals now have had 2 offensive series in this game and 2 touchdowns. Daniel Jackson will be in to try the extra point. 1:17 into this second period. Evan Clute will be the holder for the Cardinals. Snap is going to come from Blake Scholl. Ball placed down by Clute, and the kick is good. Let's take a 30-second break to hear from one of our Alexandria Cardinal sports boosters. And we update the numbers on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard. Early in period number 2, it's Alexandria 14, Chaska no score.
Hi, Carl Qualley with Qualley Real Estate. Our business approach is based on what we call the 4 E's: experience, expertise, ethics, and energy. Qualities that led us to be voted best real estate company 3 years in a row. Find your real estate coach at Qualley Real Estate, where we protect your money.
CM Woodworks produces high-quality cabinetry and furniture locally, right here in Nelson. See their showroom at 7300 39th Avenue Northeast in Nelson. CM Woodworks. Custom wood creations. Designed for beauty, built for life.
Rather methodical drive for their second score of the game, according to my unofficial numbers here. 58 yards gained in 12 plays, 1 third-down conversion, and Brody Berg scores from 3 yards out to increase Alexandria's lead. Daniel Jackson's extra point makes it a 14-0 score for the Cardinals. And now the ensuing kickoff will once again sail into the end zone, so we'll have a touchback. And Chaska will start 80 yards away from the Alexandria end zone. And, you know, Tim, as Alexandria fans like you and I are, we kind of get spoiled by seeing, you know, the opponent having to start at the 20. And, you know, Daniel Jackson is such a versatile player in so many ways, but having the ability to have deep kickoffs is one of his many gifts.
There are not a lot of high school football teams that can consistently have their opponent start at the 20-yard line every single series just about.
So the Hawks are going to start 80 yards away from the Alexandria end zone. First down and 10 for Chaska at the 20-yard line. And now we've got a big play developing here for the Hawks, as it's going to be a catch for Trey Castilla III. And Chaska flips the field just like that. So big chunk play there for the Chaska Hawks, and now they will operate on the Alexandria side of the field at the 34-yard line.
I think I had Dean Lemke in on that coverage, so I'm not sure. I might have the wrong number, but
the line of scrimmage will be the 34-yard line, so that is a pickup of 46 yards on that last play. So the Hawks get a first down, number 5 on the night. And now we're going to have a whistle here, and play will be stopped. And we're going to have a timeout called. It will be a Chaska timeout, so we're going to keep it right here as we're in the second quarter. It's Alexandria 14, Chaska nothing. Our scoreboard updates being brought to you by Glenwood State Bank. We do appreciate all of the Alexandria Cardinal sports boosters helping to bring you our play-by-play this evening through our various methods, whether you're listening on the radio, 1490 AM, 100.3 FM, and 105.7 FM KXRA. Live audio through your Voice of Alexandria app, and also we're streaming video plus the KXRA audio on YouTube. Again, all made possible by the Alexandria Cardinal sports boosters.
You should go to www.RomeTeamRealEstate.
And we're going to be back to resume action here. Chaska with a first down and 10 at the Alexandria 34-yard line. Now, the Hawks kind of got into this area of the field on their first possession of the night, but Alexandria was able to get a third down sack and ultimately force Chaska into a punting situation. Both of the Hawks series have resulted in punts. Now we've got a flood of people going to the right side here. The quarterback, Matthew Welter's going to hand off, and I believe that's Adolfo working his way forward inside the 30-yard line.
Evan Zabel in on that tackle, and he had some help from teammates, but I think he wrapped him up around the legs first.
Gain of 6 for Udolfo, and it's second down and 4 yards to go.
Chaska line had a good push that time.
Yeah, they were doing some shifting right before that ball got snapped, and maybe trying to create a little bit of imbalance. Now the quarterback, Matthew Welter, awaiting the snap, and he's going to hand off. Udolfo busts one tackle, then gets further to the outside, and he'll navigate down to about the 20-yard line, and that's going to be a pickup of 8 and another Hawks first down.
Yeah, he bounced that to the outside, and Evan Clute making the tackle.
So Chaska's on the move on its third series of the game. The Hawks now with 6 first downs here in this opening half. If you're just joining us, it's prep football. We got started about 30 minutes late after a delay, and it is 14-0 for the Cardinals early in period number 2. 8:49 remaining in the half. Here is Udolfo once again getting to the outside and gets kind of roped down near the 15-yard line, but again a plus gain there for the Chaska running back.
Yeah, he was able to bounce that outside again, and Evan Clute, first one in on the tackle.
So a pickup of 5 yards there, and it'll be a second down and 5 to go for the Chaska Hawks. Chaska trying to get on the board for the first time here in the 2024 season. Here is Welter handing off. Adolfo up the middle, and he'll be down near the 10-yard line. That should be enough for a Hawks first down on a pickup of about 6.
Brett Thornburg, the tackler.
So goal to go now for the Chaska Hawks after they pick up their third first down in tonight's game. Third first down on this series,
yep.
7th first down overall in the contest. So in terms of first downs gained, Chaska now has an edge of 1, but the Cardinals have all the points. Here is Matthew Welter handing off. Adolfo once again, kind of getting behind the rugby pile, if you will, and he got stood up. I think 3 or 4 Cardinal players were able to stand him up at about the 8-yard line, so little gain there for Udolfo.
I think that was Blake Scholl that stood him up.
So the ball will be spotted at the 8-yard line. So a pickup of 1 there. This likely is 4-down territory for Chaska, trying to respond after Alexandria scored on its first 2 possessions of the game. Matthew Welter is the quarterback. He is a junior. For Chaska, he stands 6'6". Here's a handoff, and again, good read here by the front line for the Cardinals, slowing up Adolfo for a gain of maybe a couple of yards.
Yeah, Dean Lemka came off the edge there and got him in the backfield. He might have fallen forward for a little gain, but brings up 3rd and long here.
Yep, only a yard picked up there for the Hawks. So now 3rd down and goal to go at the 7-yard line. Chaska is 0 for 2 on 3rd downs to this point of the game. Alexandria up by 14 as we approach the midpoint of this second period of play. We're coming to you from the Chaska High School Athletic Stadium. Now we've got a man in motion, and it's going to be a no handoff, loose ball, and the Cardinals will recover. I think it's going to be Brett Thornburg that may have fallen on that football, and one of his teammates was able to strip it away from Welter, so Chaska comes up empty.
Joe Martinson, I believe, is the one that stripped him. We had 2 guys with a shot at the quarterback in the backfield. The second one stripped the ball.
Yep, so Alexandria is able to force a turnover, and the Cardinals will get the football back at their own 11 or actually 12-yard line. So a loss of 5, but more importantly for the Alexandria defense, the Cardinals get a recovery, and Alexandria has still held the Chaska Hawks off the board in front 14-0. So the Cardinals will take over 88 yards away from the Chaska end zone. The visitors have scored on their first 2 possessions in tonight's game. Chase Thompson works out of the shotgun. He's going to roll to his left, looking to throw. He's going to pitch it, and it's almost intercepted. Honestly, the defensive back for the Hawks, I think that was Anabiet Udolfo back there in coverage. Probably should have had a pick.
Well, I think just at the last minute there, Evan Clute was able to get a hand in there and help break that up.
Yeah,
he had the beat on the ball.
Yep, sometimes you got to play defender there, and Clute was able to do that, and Alexandria does keep the football. 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Alexandria on its own side of the field at the 12-yard line. The Cardinal defense just forced a turnover to get the ball back. Alexandria with its 3rd possession of the game. And Thompson claps his hands a couple of times. He's going to throw it to the left side, and it's going to be dropped. I don't believe it was held by the intended receiver, Mason Gorghuber, so that's going to bring up 3rd down.
I think they were trying the bubble screen there, but the defense had it figured out.
Let's remind you that you are listening to People Radio, KXRA Alexandria, 1490 AM, 100.3 FM, 105.7 FM. Live audio through your Voice of Alexandria app, and live video streaming as well through the Voice of Alexandria live stream page on YouTube. JP Boleen is our videographer. I am Dave McClurg. Tim Zupfer is my broadcast partner. Alexandria is facing a 3rd down and 10. The Cardinals have the ball at their own 12-yard line, up by 14 midway through the 2nd quarter. Thompson does look to throw. Now he scrambles. He's going to cut upfield outside the 15 to the 20. He will be close, but I think he's going to be stopped maybe a yard and a half shy of the 1st down.
Yeah, it looks that way.
So it's an 8-yard gain for Chase Thompson. He needed 10. And it's likely we would see Daniel Jackson as a punter for the first time in this evening's game.
Yep, bringing him out.
So this will be the first punt of the 2024 season for Daniel Jackson. The line of scrimmage is the 21-yard line. Chaska does have a return player standing back inside his own 40-yard line. I believe that is Welter. Now it's going to take a bounce, and a very favorable bounce at that. And it will be down at the 23-yard line. That's going to be a 56-yard punt for Daniel Jackson, and that's going to lead us to a timeout. 4:59 remains in the opening half in varsity football in the Twin Cities. On the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard, the Alexandria Cardinals lead at Chaska 14-0.
Casa Jalisco. Take a trip south of the border to a place where you can savor the flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine. Casa Jalisco offers a true taste of Mexico without the airfare. Casa Jalisco, your Mexican getaway in downtown Alexandria.
Get great service at Alexandria Motors. Serving your family for generations and generations to come. Stop in for a great deal on your next vehicle. Alexandria Motors. One low price, plain and simple, always.
As we come back to live action, Matthew Welter's going to try to go up top, and we're going to have an incomplete pass. Deep right side, but we've got a flag thrown in the secondary, and we might have defensive pass interference coming up on the Alexandria Cardinals.
Looks like we had Mac Height and Dane Olson in on the coverage there.
Now, unlike the National Football League, it is not a spot foul, so the ball would be moved out 15 yards from the previous line of scrimmage, and Chaska's going to get a first down on the penalty. So the line of scrimmage will now be the 37-yard line. So Chaska with 4 fresh downs here after Alexandria gets called for its first infraction of the season, defensive pass interference. So now 1st and 10 for the Hawks. On your YouTube page, they are moving right to left. Udolfo gets the handoff, and he's got nowhere to go, as he had 2 or 3 Alexandria Cardinals there. I think one of them was Jack Morissette.
Yeah, and the other one was Brett Thornburg, I believe.
So no gain there, and it will be 2nd and 10 yards to go. Again, we're getting on the air a little bit late. We had a lightning delay in the 6 o'clock hour, and as a result, the players did not take the field until 6:50, which meant a 7:30 start time, almost like the days of yore. When Coach Z and I were high school students, a lot of our football games started at 7:30. Now we've got a possible pre-snap penalty here. Let's see if somebody jumped up front for the Hawks.
Looks like they had some movement there.
Yep, it is going to be a false start penalty on Chaska, and that will be the second infraction of the game. So now it will be 2nd down and 15 yards to go for the Hawks. Chaska won 4 games a year ago, rebounding from that season-opening loss at Alexandria by going 4-3 the rest of the way. One of the feathers in the cap for the Hawks was a win over St. Thomas Academy to close out the regular season. I think Alexandria fans know how good St. Thomas Academy was in the postseason last year. Here's a snap back to Welter. He's hounded, and he will go down back at the 23 or 24-yard line. So a meeting at the quarterback in the backfield, and that's going to be a loss on the play.
Brett Thornburg was the first one there, but he had some assists.
Yeah, and it will be the 3rd time that the Alexandria Cardinals have sacked the quarterback, Matthew Welter, in tonight's game. So now 3rd and a bundle for the Hawks. They now have the ball back at their 25-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 22 yards to go. 14-0 Alexandria with the advantage as we play the 2nd period. 2 receivers wide to the left. Welter looking to throw again. A little bit of pressure, but he does get the ball away, and it's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get a receiver deep over the middle. I believe that was sophomore Maxwell Epley for the Hawks, and the pass is incomplete.
Thomas Hendricks in on the coverage.
So Alexandria does give up a first down on a defensive penalty, and the Hawks will have to give up the football. Time remaining in the first half is 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Line of scrimmage is the 25-yard line. Quinn Meyer in to punt the ball away for Chaska. He's averaged 25 yards on his 2 punts. Ball is in the air. It's going to be a high kick, and it's going to it's going to be fielded rather by Mac Height at the 35-yard line. Now up the sideline into Chaska territory, and he's actually going to bring it back inside the 40-yard line. So that was a nice return for Mac Height. The punt, I believe, traveled 35 yards off the foot of Quinn Meyer, but then Mac Height was able to bring it back to the Chaska 43, so he brought it back 17 yards, and the Cardinals have plus field position operating on the Hawks side of the field.
Well, this would be your situation where you want to score before the end of the half and get the ball to start the third quarter.
Yeah, that's kind of bookending, the halftime segment here. Cardinals presently up by a score of 14-0. Glenwood State Bank brings you our scoreboard updates. Now here's a handoff, and Height gets the carry, kind of rumbles forward. He'll pick up about 5 yards to the 38-yard line.
Good spin move there to avoid the first tackler, and solid gain.
2nd down and 5 yards to go. Height, a senior running back, averaging almost 5 yards per carry. I have him unofficially for 58 yards on the ground in 12 totes so far. The Cardinals do have their full allotment of timeouts, 3 remaining here in the opening half. When the ball gets snapped, we will be under 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter. And so far, Alexandria has been very deliberate, not looking to show a lot of urgency here. Now Thompson gets the call from the coaches, and it's going to be a handoff again, but this time the ball carrier has nowhere to go, and it's going to be a TFL for the Chaska Hawks as Brody Berg ends up being stopped short of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the defensive linemen were able to stand up our line, and then they were able to tackle him for that loss there.
Yep, it'll be a loss of a yard here for the Alexandria Cardinal running back Brody Berg. And now the Chaska faithful trying to give some support to their team. Cardinals 3rd and medium range. Here is a pass, and it's going to be very close to the first down. I think Evan Clute was on the receiving end. He needed to get, I believe, to the 33-yard line, and he did get that with a yard to spare. So when the Cardinals needed 6, they got 7.
Yeah, just a real good possession receiving play there.
So 4 fresh downs here for the Alexandria Cardinals. Alexandria leading 14-0. Now Thompson looking to send it out, and there is Clute on the reception.
Yeah, just a little out pattern there. I think he probably did a slant to the middle and then back out to the sideline.
And it will be a first down, and I think the Cardinals are going to take a timeout as that tackle did occur inbounds. So Alexandria now with a first down and goal to go inside the Chaska Hawks 10-yard line. The ball will be at the 9 when play does resume. Evan Clute now with 3 receptions for the Alexandria Cardinal football team. We'll go inside the numbers during our Eldon's Fresh Foods mid-game report, and that's coming up in just moments right here on KXRA Radio, through your Voice of Alexandria app, and also on YouTube.
A lot of options here. We've still got 2 timeouts remaining and 3 downs, even 4 if we need to get the touchdown.
Yeah, so Cardinals still with a lot of choices here, as they've got a first down and goal to go at the Hawks 9-yard line. And again, Alexandria won the toss, so the Cardinals elected to defer, so Alexandria should get the football to begin the second half of play.
Mason Gorguber is often a target here, but in the previous few plays, he was not on the field. Let's see if he's back on the field here, so.
Yeah, looks like the Cardinals are going to come out with the 4-receiver set, 3 to the left side. I think Gord Huber included in that trio on that opposite end. Thomas Hinrichs and Samson Hagstrom as well, and then Evan Clute lining up wide to the right. You've got Brody Berg in the backfield along with the quarterback Chase Thompson, and Thompson will roll to his left, looking to throw. He's going to pass it left side, and it's going to be thrown out of bounds.
Yeah, that was good coverage. I think he was just throwing it away there, and will live to play another down.
Yeah, still some downs to play with us. It'll be second down and goal to go with the Cardinals possessing the ball at the Chaska Hawks 9-yard line.
He was looking Mason's way, but good coverage by the Chaska Hawks.
I spoke earlier when I talked about Mac Height's running totals. He wears jersey number 3 for Alexandria. So does Chaska's very good running back, Anabiet Udofo. And it's Udofo who actually has over 50 yards rushing, but we'll go inside those numbers a little bit later. Here is Thompson throwing to the left corner of the end zone, and a flag comes down. And that's going to probably mean a pass interference penalty. Yeah. And goal to go again with 4 fresh downs, although honestly, Tim, I don't know if the receiver could have run out to catch the ball over in the corner of the end zone.
I think he was held there, though. He was trying to make a break for the ball. You're right. It was thrown rather wide. It would have taken a pretty good play to get to the ball, but I believe he was held in the end zone.
So that's going to be a defensive pass interference penalty and a first down for the Alexandria Cardinals. But that will move the ball, I believe, in between the 4 and 5 yard lines. So first down again and goal to go for the Alexandria Cardinals.
Yep, half the distance to the goal there.
Now the down marker on the far side is still saying second down, so maybe it is not the automatic first down. But still, 4.5 yards gained on the defensive penalty. Now Thompson is going to hand off. Here's a cut to the right side, stumbling toward the end zone, and in is the ball carrier for the Alexandria Cardinals. And I'm not sure if that was Brody Berg that got in.
Yeah, I couldn't tell either.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think Berg was the one that did cross into the end zone for Alexandria, so he will score on what we will credit as a 5-yard run for Alexandria, and the Cardinals now lead by 20. So Alexandria able to take advantage of the short field and get some points right before halftime. And now Daniel Jackson, who is 2 for 2 on the PATs, will come out to try the point after touchdown here. Good snap by Evan Clute, and the kick is up and good. And just before half, Alexandria has increased the lead a little bit more. The Cardinals now in front of Chaska 21-0 on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard. Brody Berg getting the touchdown for the Alexandria Cardinals to cap off a 43-yard scoring drive. The Cardinals able to use 5 plays in the series to get the points. And as Coach Z mentioned a little while ago, Alexandria set to get the football at the start of the second half. We are closing in on halftime. Not quite there yet. 27.3 seconds to go until intermission. But Alexandria has now scored on 3 of its 4 possessions here in tonight's game. Daniel Jackson will kick off. The kickoffs do come from the 40s, so if he's able to connect and go 60 yards with the kick, as he will once again, we're going to have a touchback. So Chaska will start on its own 20-yard line. And this will be the 4th time that Daniel Jackson has been able to get the ball into the end zone for a touchback.
I think it's actually 5. Nope, 4. We punted once.
Yeah, so... yeah, and even on after the punt, I think the...
they're at the 23.
Yeah, yeah. So still long fields for the host Hawks to try to go against an Alexandria defense, which did bend a little bit on the first series of the night. Chaska was able to get 4 first downs and move from their own 20 inside the Alexandria 35 before the drive bogged down. Now let's see if Coach Brian Dahl's going to be aggressive. He does have his quarterback... Welter back in the shotgun here. Nope, looks like the Hawks are going to keep it on the ground here and run out the clock for the last play of the first half. It'll be about a 4-yard gain for Adolfo, and that will bring us to the intermission.
Jack Morissette able to trip him up there, and I think he was assisted by a couple of his teammates.
So that will bring us down to zeros here in the first half. Good first half for the visiting Alexandria Cardinals, the defending Section 8 Class 5A football champions. They have held Chaska off the board through the first 24 minutes of tonight's game. It's 21-0 for Alexandria. Be sure to stay with us, whether you're online with our video stream on YouTube or joining us through more conventional methods. Audio of your game on the Voice of Alexandria app and also on KXRA Radio. We are just moments away from the Eldon's Fresh Foods mid-game report after we hear these words from our Cardinal Sports Boosters.
Getting in and out of the pharmacy is easy with Trum Drug's app, RX Local. Download the app, choose Trum Drug as your pharmacy, use it for medication refills and reminders. Trum Drug, locally owned, locally loved.
Who do you turn to if you or a loved one is experiencing a mental health crisis? We're here. Region 4 South Mobile Crisis Team will come to you by calling 701-364-0431.
Where you start today is not where you'll finish tomorrow. At Alexandria College, we know you have big plans for the future. Find your calling and be a legend.
When you want your closing to go as smooth as possible, ask for Integrity Title. We may be a bit obsessed about our jobs and the details that go into it, but that's what makes us such a good choice for your real estate closing. Ask for Integrity Title, the title closing geeks.
You've seen them, craved them. You've voted them the best. Their Smoke and Brews and Q's get their unreal smoked barbecue for catering, drop-offs, or events.
Hi, this is Schmitty from Smoke and Brews and Q's. Our obsession is the meat, our passion is what makes it great.
Dentistry at the Center knows all about busy schedules, and that's one of the best things about having 3 dentists. We have more appointment times available, so we can see you sooner. So, for dentist appointments to fit your schedule better, come see the friendly folks at Dentistry at the Center.
Welcome to the spirit of Lake Town hospitality. Welcome to D. Mike's Resort Bar and Grill. From legacy locals, seasonal visitors, to traveling teams, you are our community. Come share in our rustic flavors, modern flair, and authentic roots. Legacy inspired, community infused.
Grow your savings faster with Bell Bank's new Elite Money Market Savings Account. Earn 4.33% annual percentage yield and access your cash when you need it. Switch to higher savings rates today. Visit bell.bank to learn more.
I see generations who are passionate about what they did. I hope that I can leave a legacy of compassion for people and love for family and friends.
A mid-game report presented to you on KXRA Radio and also through YouTube by Eldon's Fresh Foods in Alexandria. I am DMAC Dave McClurg. Tim Zupfer is my broadcast partner on location in Chaska. JP Boleen is the videographer for the live video accompanying our KXRA audio on YouTube. And we want to give a shout out as well to Jackson, our studio engineer at KXRA in downtown Alexandria. It's been a first half where Alexandria was able to break on top after the Cardinals defense was able to force Chaska into a punt after the Hawks had a rather methodical and pretty good-looking drive for the opening series, but the Cardinals defense has tightened up after that opening series, and the Alexandria football team has scored on 3 of its 4 possessions so far tonight to go up 21-0. And Tim, as we kind of digest the first half of play, again, pretty solid performance. It seems like defensively the Cardinals were able to learn a few things on that opening series, and fortunately they did get a quarterback quarterback sack there to kind of slow that momentum for Chaska, and now the Cardinals have been pretty stout defensively.
Yeah, Chaska had that first drive. Their third drive was also a fairly significant one until we were able to force a fumble. So twice getting down into to our defending our red zone. Twice we come up with big plays. One a sack to force a punt, and another one basically a sack, fumble, recovery, and that was able to keep the Hawks off the scoreboard.
Yeah, Alexandria was able to score on 3 of its 4 possessions overall in the first half of play, and right now the Cardinals are up by 21 points at the break. It is Alexandria 21, Chaska nothing. Let's go through a scoring recap first of all. The Hawks got the football first and put together a drive that accumulated more than 5 minutes of time, 4 first downs on the play, but then the Hawks were facing a third down inside the Alexandria 35-yard line, and quarterback Matthew Welter got sacked, and as a result, Chaska ended up punting the football away. Alexandria would then take over at the Cardinals' 25-yard line. And after a couple of plays resulted in incomplete passes, Chase Thompson, the outstanding senior quarterback for Alexandria, went up top to his receiver, Evan Clute. It ended up being a 55-yard gain, putting Alexandria at the edge of the Alex Rubbish and Recycling red zone. That 55-yard catch put the ball on the Chaska 20-yard line. And a few plays after that, the Cardinals were able to get their first score. A run of a couple of yards by Mac Height. And with the extra point added by Daniel Jackson, the Cardinals were up a little more than 8 minutes into the game, 7-0, and that was the score after one quarter. The Hawks then had 3 successive possessions after their opening series, 2 punts and a lost fumble. It was on the series where the Hawks lost a fumble that Coach Z mentioned that Chaska really put together a nice drive. They actually had a big pass play from their quarterback Welter to Trey Casilla III, which flipped the field a little bit, and then the Hawks were able to get another first down or 2 after that. But then on a third down and goal play, the Cardinals were able to get a strip sack, and the fumble was recovered. I think it was Brett Thornburg on the fumble recovery, and that denied Chaska its best scoring chance of the half. The Cardinals then would punt the ball away themselves, but after Chaska got the ball back and punted after a first down by defensive penalty, Alexandria got a nice return from Mac Height. A punt return of 17 yards put Alexandria on the Hawks side of the field, and then shortly after that, Brody Berg was able to score from 5 yards out, and that capped off a series that would end up going a total of 5 plays and 43 yards. Daniel Jackson has been perfect on all 3 of his extra points. That last Alexandria score came with under a minute remaining in the half, and Alexandria in a very good spot right now as the Cardinals are up 21-0. This is the mid-game report brought to you by Eldon's Fresh Foods in Alexandria. And Tim, I think we'll do a variation here to start off our first broadcast of the year. Normally I go through the offensive stats and then you do the defensive stats. So why don't we start with defensive stats and time of possession first?
Okay, defensively, I have Brett Thornburg as our unofficial tackle leader with 5. Jack Morissette I have for 3, along with Evan Clute and Talon Witt with 3 each. 2 tackles each for Evan Zabel, Dean Lemke, and Trey Peffer, along with Dane Olson. And I have single tackles for Mac Height and Blake Scholl. And I know there's guys that have more tackles than that. I just don't always pick up all the numbers. I try to get as many as I can. Cardinals, time of possession-wise, as Dave mentioned, they've scored on 3 of their 4 drives, and the one drive where they did punt, they flipped the field considerably, and so we've talked about it. It's been a long field for Chaska, 4 of their drives starting from the 20-yard line, and the 5th one from their 23-yard line. Chaska does lead in time of possession, and my guess is their game plan coming into this was, and they've been successful moving the ball on the ground, and my guess is they felt that they needed to have that time of possession advantage and have sustained drives. They just haven't been able to turn any of those drives into the points and give credit to the Cardinal defense for being stout and turning them away. So Chaska does lead in time of possession with about 14 and a half minutes time of possession, and the Cardinals with about 9.5 minutes.
Very good. And now as we reflect on some of the offensive numbers here in the first half, with Alexandria up 21-0. Total plays from scrimmage. The Alexandria Cardinals were able to run 24 plays. Chaska ran 27. Again, a nod to the Hawks trying to maybe keep the football and have some sustained drives. But again, Alexandria's defense doing very well to keep the Chaska Hawks off the board. First downs in the first half, Chaska had 8. 6 of those on the ground, 1 through the air, and 1 by defensive penalty. Alexandria had 7 first downs, 4 through the air, 2 on the ground, and 1 by defensive penalty. Rushing yardage, Alexandria 65 yards on the ground, 115 through the air for an unofficial first half total of 180 yards. Chaska unofficially 50 yards on the ground, 62 through the air for a first half total of 112. The leading ground gainer for the host Hawks, Anabiet Udofo, a senior running back, unofficially 57 yards on the ground in 12 carries. It should be noted that 3 of Matthew Welter's rushing plays were quarterback sacks, and on one of those he lost the ball, so he actually has negative 14 yards. When I keep stats, the sack yardage goes against an individual's rushing amount, not against the gross passing to make net passing. The Alexandria Cardinals have really had some balance. Chase Thompson has run the ball 5 times in the first half for 24 yards. Mac Height has run the ball 5 times in the first half unofficially for 23 yards and a touchdown. And Brody Berg toted the rock 5 times in the opening half for 18 yards, and he has a pair of scores. Alexandria averaging about 4.3 yards per rush, 65 yards in 15 carries. Chaska's averaging under 3 yards per rush, 50 yards on the ground in 18 carries. Alexandria quarterback Chase Thompson completed 50% of his passes, 6 of 12 for 115 yards, no touchdowns and no interceptions. On the receiving end of those passes, Evan Clute, 3 receptions for 85 yards, 1 catch for Mason Gorghuber for 12 yards, 1 catch for Mac Height for 10 yards, and 1 reception for Samson Hagstrom for 8 yards in the first half of play. 1 punt in the first half for the Cardinals, Daniel Jackson, and he did it well, 56 yards. 1 penalty for Alexandria in the first half. That was a defensive pass interference. No turnovers by the Cardinals. Chaska's miscellaneous numbers, their quarterback Matthew Welter, 3 of 6 through the air, 62 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. All 3 of the passes that have been caught have gone to receiver Trey Casilla III, 3 receptions for 62 yards. The Hawks did turn the ball over once, a strip sack for a fumble and recovery by the Alexandria defense in the red zone. So Chaska was on the verge of getting its first points, down 14-0. The Cardinals forced the fumble and got the ball back. And Alexandria is +1 in the turnover comparison. The Hawks had 2 penalties for a loss of 10 yards in the first half. 3 punts for the senior Quinn Meyer for Chaska, and he's averaging about 28 yards per boot. Alexandria led 7-0 after 1 quarter. The Cardinals outscored the Hawks 14-0 in the second, so that means we're moments away from the start of the second half with Alexandria in front of Chaska 21-0. Our thanks to Eldon's Fresh Foods at 6th and Nokomis in Alexandria for bringing you our mid-game report. Tim Zuffer and yours truly, Dave McClurg, will be back to Chaska for the play-by-play of Period 3 after these words from our Alexandria Cardinal Sports Booster.
What's your number? I drove 60 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota. I drove 45 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota. Quality Toyota!
Premier Collision guarantees your full satisfaction. From a simple dent to major bodywork, Premier Collision will fix your vehicle right. Stop by for a free estimate or go to premiercollisionmn.com. Premier Collision, excellent results, a friendly attitude, and fair prices.
Pomp's Tire Service has solutions for tired tires. Whatever your tire choice, make Pomp's your choice. Brakes, wheel alignments, factory maintenance, shocks, and struts. Pomp's has your service needs covered. Pomp's, we know tires and service. You should know Pomp's.
Precision Auto reminds you to plan for the inevitable, the change of weather and its impact on your vehicle. From simple tune-ups to major repairs, trust the precision of a pro. Precision Auto. On 8th and Nokomis, Alexandria.
North Central International. Heavy-duty truck service on long haulers, dump trucks, buses, and specialized heavy-duty rigs. Medium and heavy-duty parts and accessories for all makes of trucks. Just south of I-94 and Highway 29 South in Alexandria.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving. Most of my crew has been here for decades.
The reason I've been here for so long is I love the variety and I love the different tasks throughout the day. A chance to operate many different pieces of equipment in any day.
Working here, I definitely like working with the crew. The guys are involved in training you and definitely help developing you as a person.
If I was looking for a place of employment, I would definitely apply here.
Give me a call and visit my website because we're hiring and I want to talk to you about your next career with us.
Life can sometimes feel like you're navigating through construction. You hit a detour, run out of gas, or you're going the wrong way on a one-way street. But Lakeland Mental Health Center is here to help you get back to the right path. Visit lmhc.org. Help today for a better tomorrow.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
So talk with your kids, because when you talk, they hear you.
Garden Center features 34 lanes of bowling fun. Whether you're an avid bowler or just looking for a fun outing, add Garden Center lanes to your calendar and make it a fun date.
We appreciate all of the Alexandria Cardinal sports boosters helping to bring you our play-by-play broadcast. It's prep football from Chaska, Minnesota. Ironically, these two teams met each other 50 autumns ago. And what a memorable year it was for the 1974 Alexandria Cardinals. Alexandria winning the state Class A football championship that year, defeating Chaska at Parade Stadium for the Class A title. Now keep in mind the nomenclature for the class setup was a little bit different. In 1974, first of all, that was just the third year of the state football tournament. The tournament didn't begin until 1972, and Alexandria won the Class A title in 74. The big school class back then was Class AA, and then you had Class A, Class B, Class C, and nine-man football. Tim, when you were a student athlete down at Zumbrota High School in the southeastern part of the state, what class was Zumbrota in when you were a student there?
That's a good question. I remember in 1972 we had an undefeated football team that wasn't one of the ones chosen to play in the section or play, so they never got the chance to play in the postseason, and they were darn good.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And
they were probably, I'm guessing we were Class B.
Okay. Yeah, you know, schools like, I think, Bird Island and, several others. A school like Belgrade, I believe, was nine-man football. And I think Brandon was nine-man. And Brandon actually played in one of the early state football championship games. I just find that interesting. You know, we've had high school football for decades, but it took until the early 1970s to have a playoff system in effect.
Well, and then in 1980, we had a one-loss season, lost 6-0 in a really cold game. That was my senior year, and tied for the conference lead, but the team that beat us had the same record, and they got to go to the postseason. So it was many, many years before Zumbrota got into the playoffs. But they did play in one Prep Bowl championship game. I believe they lost to Dilworth, Glendon, Felton.
Yeah, and I know my alma mater does not have a rosy postseason experience. Robbinsdale Cooper's only win in the state football tournament was a game that, Tim, you and I broadcast back in 2021. So, it's Cooper, I believe, made the state football tournament for the first time in the autumn of 1996. So that was just their second appearance overall. But nonetheless, I know that during homecoming week, a few weeks down the line, the class or the 1974 state champion Alexandria football team is going to be honored. It's interesting, the quarterback of that team, Bob Bellevue, periodically I maintained contact with him for a number of years when I was in the Alexandria area in the late 90s. Bob and I were broadcast partners on the air when we would do high school football games. So it was good. I know he eventually went into education and now retired from teaching and everything. But it's going to be fun later on this fall to celebrate the 74 Cardinals.
Yeah, it's too bad that Coach Christofferson passed away just within the past couple of years, so he won't be around for that celebration.
Yeah, but we can look forward to talking more about that on KXRA Radio and through our various media methods as well. Again, it's Alexandria 21, Chaska nothing as we are getting set to start the third quarter. Our game did get underway about 30 minutes later than the start time because of a lightning delay. We had a couple of flashes of lightning in the area in the 6 o'clock hour, and that triggered a delay, but we did not have a second revision of a 30-minute delay after the last lightning flash around 6:20. So by the time that 30-minute delay expired, they opened the gates to allow the fans to come into the stadium here, and the players took the field. And while we did have a little bit of light rain falling right at the end of the second quarter, I think a lot of the fans, keeping the umbrellas handy, but it's a much lighter rainfall now than even what we were having just 10 to 15 minutes ago. Alexandria will get the ball to begin the third quarter. As you are watching the live video stream on YouTube, the visiting Cardinals, who are dressed in the light-colored jerseys, they will be moving left to right here in period number 3. The kicker is Quinn Meyer. He did not have to kick off in the opening half, and he's going to send it deep, but this should be returnable, and it will be taken at the 2-yard line. Evan Clute faked the handoff, now gets out past the 15-yard line, then kind of does a curl pattern toward the middle of the field, and he'll advance it out to about the 24. So Alexandria will have some okay field position to begin the first series of the second half. And Tim, I think, amidst all the statistical consumption that we had during our Eldon's Fresh Foods mid-game report, I think the Cardinals coaching staff must be happy. The infractions, and I know that one of the keys that Mike Empting said, we've got to make sure our alignment and our assignments are keep those mistakes to a minimal number, and his team did that in the first half.
Yeah, like you said, they had a couple drives where we bent a little bit between the 20s, but we stiffened up when we needed to.
First down and 10 at the 26-yard line, and the first play of the second half will be a run by Brody Berg, but he is not able to get moving. He will actually be stopped shy of the line of scrimmage. It looks like he'll be sent back to the 23-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard loss. The series started at the 25, so second down now and 12 yards to go.
Guessing that was some sort of run blitz there. Ideally, I think the Cardinals would like to have a nice sustained drive here.
Yeah, it's interesting. They passed 12 times, ran the ball 15 times in the first half. Here's Thompson looking to throw. He's got time. Pass is going to be caught, I believe, out past the 30-yard line. That was a good catch by Evan Clute because he had a defender right on him.
He really came back and made a nice play on the ball. He got his hands to the ball first that time.
It is not enough for a first down, but it's going to pick up 10 and leaves the Alexandria Cardinals with a very manageable 3rd down and 2. And the Cards were 3 of 4 on 3rd down in the first half. Chaska, by comparison, was 0 for 4.
See if Thompson calls his own number here, maybe?
Yeah, he's going to shift Berg off to his right. You've got 3 receivers to the left side. Here's a handoff, and Berg does get the carry, and I think he's got the yardage for the first down. Went behind the left side of that offensive line. Guys like Evan Zabel and Joe Martinson, Ashton Sladek as well, and The Cardinals are able to move the chains. It looks like forward progress will only be to the 35, but that is enough for an Alexandria first down.
Yep, got just enough there.
So the first down number comparison is now even. Alexandria 8, Chaska 8 in tonight's game. But the scoreboard is not even. 21-0 Alexandria. And here's a pass right side intended for Samson Hagstrom, but it ends up going out of bounds. It's incomplete.
I think we were looking to potentially take a shot there, but everything was covered up very nicely by the secondary of Chaska.
So second down and 10 yards to go. If you're just joining us, our broadcast got on the air early in the 7 o'clock hour. We had a lightning delay preventing proceedings from carrying on. The ninth grade game actually got stopped early in the fourth quarter, so they did not complete their game. Here is a pass, and it's over the middle, and it's going to be caught. Mason Gorghuber trying to get to the outside as he was kind of coming from the left toward the right, and he'll manage to pick up about 5 yards on the play.
I think that was like an inside screen I think they were trying to set up there. They did get positive yardage, but he was one broken tackle from a bigger gain.
Yep, so now a third down coming up for the Cardinals. They've got the ball at their own 40-yard line. Third down and a long 5 for Alexandria. Thompson will fake the handoff. He'll roll to his left. Has time. Now he'll tuck the ball in. Now a jump pass, and it's going to be incomplete.
Wonder if they might call that grounding.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was a receiver in the vicinity there. And
they kept the flags in their pocket.
Okay, so it will be an incomplete pass on third down. So Chaska's defense does the job, holding Alexandria to one first down to start the third quarter. And now Daniel Jackson is in to punt, and let's see if he can get off a good boot like he did earlier. His only punt of the night so far has been 56 yards. And now it's going to be an end-over-end kick, but it's going to take a favorable Alexandria bounce, and it's going to be down at the 15-yard line by the Alexandria Cardinals. I think that was Blake Scholl to touch the ball there. So Chaska is going to start 85 yards away from its own end zone. So again, another good punt for Daniel Jackson there, and Chaska will have a 1st and 10 at its own 15-yard line. So the Hawks 85 yards away from the Alexandria end zone. I believe the last punt for Jackson goes 45 yards, so he's averaging now 50 and a half on his 2 punts in tonight's game. Matthew Welter is the quarterback. Anna Bigat-Udofo is the running back for the Hawks. And Udofo does not get the call. It's going to be a fake handoff and then a pitch to the right side, and the catch is made. I believe that's Maxwell Epley who was on the receiving end there, curling to the outside, and I think he was able to get past the sticks, and that's going to be a Hawks first down.
Tackle there that time, forcing him out of bounds, was Trey Peffer.
So the ball will be up to the 26-yard line after a gain of 11. First down for Chaska. The Hawks playing in the North Star South Gold District. Mankato East, Mankato West, New Prague, and Chanhassen help to make up that district. Here is another pass by Welter, and this one's a little bit high for the intended receiver on the right side. I think that may have been Tyler Forrest. So second down and 10 yards to go. Alexandria competes in the North Star North District, which includes 6 teams. In fact, after the home opener next week, 5 consecutive games against district rivals. Alexandria won the North Star North District last year at 5-0. Of course, the Cardinals went 8-0 in the regular season and ultimately got to the state tournament, went 11-1 for the final record. Here's a pass left side. That got batted down. I don't know if it was Evans able or...
I think it was.
Yeah, he was able to deflect the pass, and it was not able to make it to the intended target. So that's an incompletion, and now it is third down.
Chaska changing their offensive sets a little bit here, a more spreading us out a bit more. Much of the first half, they lined up in a tighter formations and were trying to run the ball more.
Matthew Welter, the Hawks quarterback, now 4 for 9 for 73 yards in tonight's game unofficially. Trips to the left side for the Hawks. Running back joining Welter, and here is a ball up for grabs, and it's going to be incomplete. That one had some hang time there, and it was nearly dropped into the breadbasket of Epley. He had Brett Thornburg on the coverage there, and it's an incompletion. So after a first down on a pass completion, 3 straight incomplete passes bring Chaska into a punting situation. The Hawks now 0 for 5 on third down in tonight's game. And Quinn Meyer will be in for his 4th punt attempt. He's averaged about 28 yards per kick. Gets the ball in the air. High kick, not terribly deep. And a fair catch is going to be called for by Evan Clute. That will end up being a 39-yard punt, and that's going to lead us to a commercial break as we hear from one of our Cardinal Sports Boosters. 8:42 is our time remaining, third period. Glenwood State Bank scoreboard. Alexandria leads at Chaska 21-0.
Ford, Lincoln, Dodge, Chrysler, Ram, Jeep. Make it Jetner Motors your best price dealer. Make it Jetner Motors your best price dealer.
On the field, a lot of people know me as number 11. Off the field, I appreciate how First Western Bank and Trust bankers take the time to learn about me and never treat me as just a number. You too can bank where you'll never be just an account number.
Berg will get the first carry for the Alexandria Cardinals on this series, which starts at the 40-yard line. So a little gain there, and it will be a second down. Alexandria in front by a 21-0 score. That was the score at halftime. I'll actually credit Berg for a gain of 1. Brody Berg now with 8 carries in tonight's game. He has scored 2 of Alexandria's 3 rushing touchdowns tonight. Chase Thompson working out of the shotgun. And here's an inside handoff, and again, not a lot of room for Berg to get through, and he'll be stood up. Little to no gain there, and it'll be third down and likely a passing situation for the Alexandria Cardinals.
Yeah, we had some success running the ball in the first half, but it was more of our passing game kind of setting up the running game, and now that Chaska knows we'd like to run the ball a little bit more, they've stuffed us pretty well.
We've played 4.5 minutes of the third period. We have under 8 remaining in the quarter. Alexandria up by a 21-0 score. Rather tight formation with 3 receivers to the right. Thompson with some time to throw. Scrambles, pitches, and it's going to be a near catch out beyond midfield, but I think it's a trap. And I think the ball will be ruled incomplete, so
Clute tried to lay out for that one, and Thompson actually threw it sidearm.
Yeah, it's amazing. Chase Thompson does have some different angles which he can fire the football, but it's an incomplete pass, and that will bring up fourth down. So Daniel Jackson in to punt the football away. Fair catch is going to be called for here, and it will be made at the 20-yard line. So that's going to be a 39-yard punt for Daniel Jackson, and Chaska will take over. With 7:03 to go in the third period, our halftime score is still intact. It is Alexandria 21, Chaska no score.
Still winning the field position battle here. Another start from the 20-yard line or 21-yard line for Chaska.
So the Hawks again working with a long field, as they'll need to go quite a ways to get to the end zone. It's 80 yards to go. And I know that Mike Empting, the head coach of the Alexandria Cardinals, was really upbeat about what his team could do defensively, and they've had a couple of series tonight where they've given up either 3 or 4 first downs, but still have the shutout intact. Now we've got a handoff and a gain here for about 6 or 7 yards. That might be a running back for Chaska, Morgan Engelman, getting the carry there.
Blake Scholl and Evan Zabel in on that tackle.
So a gain of 9 yards there, and it'll be a 2nd down and 1 yard to go.
Now Chaska back in that tight formation again, as they were on the previous play.
Quarterback Matthew Welter working out of the shotgun. The running back Engelman is to his left, and now he shifts to the right. Engelman's got the first down, and he'll keep those feet moving, and he'll actually advance the ball out to about the 39-yard line. That'll be a run of 10 for the senior running back Morgan Engelman, and Chaska gets the conversion here and a first down. So now in the second half, the Hawks have a pair of first downs. Alexandria has just 1 first down. So Chaska +2 on the first down comparison, 10-8. But when you talk about the numbers on the scoreboard, those are the more important numbers. And Alexandria is a +21 right now, midway through the third quarter. Dave McClurg and Tim Zupfer with the broadcast coverage. Here's Welter looking to throw. Now he scrambles left side. He's in trouble now. Fires upfield, and the ball is going to be caught or nearly caught.
Nearly caught, but Brett Thornburg able to break it up.
Yeah, excellent work by Thornburg there defensively. And it's an incomplete pass. So Chaska being a little more, assertive there on a second and short play, trying to go with a deeper route, and knowing that if they, they don't convert, so it'll be a 2nd down here. That does stop the clock with 5:48 to go. A reminder that you are listening to our broadcast coverage tonight on People Radio, KXRA Alexandria, 1490 AM, 100.3 FM, 105.7 FM. We're also available with live audio through your Voice of Alexandria app, powered by Mission Mechanical, Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. And we thank you for joining us via the YouTube option for you as well. You can access that through our website, voiceofalexandria.com. The YouTube channel is The Voice of Alexandria live stream. JP Boleen is our videographer for the live video stream tonight. Along with Tim Zupfer, I am Dave McClurg with the play-by-play. Jackson is our KXRA studio engineer in downtown Alexandria. An incomplete pass on 2nd down brings up 3rd and 10 for Chaska. The Hawks have the ball at their own 38-yard line. Here is Welter firing left side, and it's going to be a little bit too long for the intended receiver, that being Jabez Jobira. And after one first down on a 10-yard run, the Hawks decided to throw the ball, and 3 straight incomplete passes were the result.
Mason Gorguber and Talon Witt in on the coverage there. Thomas Hinrichs was in on the coverage the previous play. And also in the linebacking core on the tackle on first down was Dean Lemke.
So
Aiden Schneiderhan, I mean.
Okay, very good. As Chaska punter Quinn Meyer is in for the 5th time tonight. Line of scrimmage is the 38-yard line, and now the ball is loose. It took a hop on the turf, and I believe the return man, Evan Klute, was able to fall on it, and Alexandria will have the ball at the 27-yard line. Let's take a 30-second timeout to hear from one of our Alexandria Cardinal sports boosters. Glenwood State Bank scoreboard midway through the third quarter has Alexandria leading at Chaska 21-0.
At Erickson's, we're your go-to experts for your furnace, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical. We have prompt and courteous service because your comfort is our commitment.
Erickson's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
A successful win isn't about the score. It's about what you put into the game. If a successful win matters to you on the purchase or sale of your property, hard work matters to me. Todd Whiting, Century 21, 766-2200.
We welcome you back to the Chaska High School football stadium. DMAC and Coach Z with the broadcast here. Alexandria facing a 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line, and as Thompson was looking to roll out, seemed like the ball slipped out of his possession. Fortunately, he was able to fall on it, but it's going to be a loss of about 7, maybe 8 yards.
Yeah, a couple plays in a row. We've got that ball on the turf. That's not what we want to see, especially in that end of the field.
Yeah, and Chaska hoping to get another strong defensive stand. They've been able to force Alexandria into a pair of punts here in the second half of play. But so far, Alexandria's defense has been stout, pitching the shutout so far in front 21-0. Now Thompson working out of the shotgun here. Receivers both ways. Here is the handoff, and Berg tries to get going, but Chaska's front line does a nice job there at not allowing Berg to get going. He may have picked up only about a yard.
That brings up 3rd and forever here, almost 20 yards.
Yep, the Cardinals at one point in this game were 4 of 5 on 3rd down, but they have not converted on their last 2 third down attempts. This will be 3rd and about 18 to go for Alexandria. Again, you've got a couple of receivers on each side, so a 4-receiver set for Alexandria. Good snap back to Thompson, looking to throw. Now he's pressured, and he's going. Oh, he does escape, but he will be stopped in the backfield. So that will be a quarterback sack, the first time that Chase Thompson has been sacked in tonight's game. And the Hawks defense does rise to the occasion again. It's a 3-and-out for Alexandria.
Daniel Jackson will have a little bit bigger challenge of flipping the field this time.
Yeah, as he'll be in to try his 4th punt. It will be his 2nd one this half. His shortest punt of the night has been 39 yards. He's also had punts of 45 and 56 yards. That 56-yarder came back in the first half. Line of scrimmage is the Alexandria 19-yard line. And now Alexandria a little bit late in getting somebody out onto the field, and I think Coach Mike Empting is going to take the timeout. We're going to keep it right here with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the 3rd period. Alexandria led at the break 21-0, and that is the score right now. Our scoreboard updates during our broadcast and live video stream brought to you by Glenwood State Bank. And Tim Zupfer, it's been a second half that's been a little bit more of a struggle, and I think it's due in part, Chaska's playing pretty solid defense, and the Cardinals continue to play solid defense, and sometimes that makes the artistic measure of the game look a little bit different.
It's certainly a defensive struggle, right? Both teams are playing strong defense, which is forcing the offenses to struggle right now. Cardinals will be okay if it continues that way.
Yeah, that's right. If you allow no more points the rest of the way, it will be a happy bus ride home. The home opener for the Alexandria Cardinal football team is a little more than a week away. The Monticello Magic will visit Viking Bank Field at Alexandria Area High School. That is on Friday, September 6th. Daniel Jackson gets the punt away. It is a fair catch called for, and it will be made by Maxwell Epley on the Alexandria side of the field. The ball, I believe, will be spotted in play at the 45-yard line. Now, the breeze has picked up a little bit out of the west, and it seems like that's the direction that Jackson is now punting in to, and he gets his shortest kickoff of the night, 26 yards. So Chaska with some good field position. In fact, this is the best field position that the Hawks have had to start a series tonight. 1st and 10 at the Alexandria Cardinal 45-yard line. The Hawks down by 21 with about 15 minutes remaining in regulation time. And here's a handoff, and the running back just not able to get going as Engelman was stopped for a gain of a yard.
Jack Morissette with penetration and initial tackle on that play.
So we saw Udofo be a featured back in the opening half, but it's been Engelman getting more touches here in period number 3. Clock on the move. We're at 2:35, time remaining in the third quarter. We've had no points in this period, so Alexandria's 21-0 halftime lead is still intact. Matthew Welter out of the shotgun, hands off, and short gain here as I think Brett Thornburg went one-on-one with the ball carrier Engelman there, and Engelman got a couple of yards, but he got a licking as well.
Yes, he did. He met him almost at the line of scrimmage. Did get a little bit of a couple yard gain after contact there.
So third down coming up. In my mind, if I were to get into the head of Hawks head coach Brian Dahl, this might be 4-down territory, even though the ball is still out past the 40-yard line.
Barring a loss, I think you're right.
Third down and about 7 here for Chaska. Welter throws to the left side, and it's going to be wide of the intended target. I don't know if Alexandria player got a hand on the ball or not, but
I think the receiver broke right, and the quarterback thought he was supposed to break left.
And now Matthew Welter has thrown 7 consecutive incomplete passes. And looks like Welter is going to stay on the field, although Quinn Meyer is coming out. Now, Meyer could be used as a back or a receiver here. It's not a guarantee that he would punt, and he's not going to line up in punt formation. So, in essence, Chaska's going to gamble here. 4th down and 7 to go at the Alexandria 42-yard line. Here is Welter looking to throw. He'll step up. He's going to run. He's got some room to run inside the 35, and that's going to move the chains. It's a first down for Chaska.
Oh, good penetration by Alexandria, but we just weren't able to contain him there. We let him slip through our fingers, and a nice play by the quarterback to pick up that first down.
Yep, Welter did it with his legs, and he ends up picking up, I believe, almost 9 yards on the play, and that's a very important 4th down conversion for the Hawks. And obviously 4 fresh downs now for Chaska. And the Hawks moving right to left for a few more moments in the third period. Handoff, and Engelman will get the carry, and he'll work forward for about 4, maybe 5 yards.
Thomas Hinrichs with that tackle.
We're down to about 75 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Alexandria 21, Chaska no score. The Hawks have the ball at the Alexandria Cardinals 27-yard line. It'll be a 2nd down and 3 here for Chaska. And it's going to be a misdirection play as the receiver gets the carry. I think Welter actually faked the handoff to Anabia Dudofo and then did hand off to Maxwell Epley. And Alexandria did a nice job at staying at home. And
yes, they did. Brett Thornburg played his position extremely well. I don't know if that was some sort of Statue of Liberty type or a reverse, but well defended by the Cards.
Yeah, it was not successful there. It's a loss of a yard. So 3rd down and 4 coming up. Coach Dahl went for it on 4th down earlier in this series, and my presumption is he's going to do it again if Chaska doesn't get a conversion here. Here is Welter handing off, and Udofo gets met right near the line of scrimmage.
Aiden Schneiderhan again.
Yep, and that will bring us to the end of period number 3. So likely a go-for-it situation for the Hawks when period number 4 gets underway. We'll hear a few words on KXRA Radio, your Voice of Alexandria app, and on YouTube from our Cardinal Sports Boosters. And then we return to Chaska in a minute after I let you know what the score is after 3. Glenwood State Bank scoreboard has the Cardinals leading in Chaska 21-0.
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles to Quality Toyota to get a great deal, and we've done it 13 times.
Quality Toyota.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving. Most of my crew has been here for decades.
The reason I've been here for so long is I love the variety and I love the different tasks throughout the day. A chance to operate many different pieces of equipment in any day.
Working here, I definitely like working with the crew. The guys are involved in training you and definitely help developing you as a person.
If I was looking for a place of employment, I would definitely apply here.
Give me a call and visit my website, because we're hiring and I want to talk to you about your next career with us.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
So talk with your kids, because when you talk, they hear you.
Ends the fourth quarter with the football trailing by 3 touchdowns. It's Alexandria 21, Chaska nothing. Tim Zupfer and yours truly, Dave McClurg, with the broadcast. Thanks for joining us as it's our second broadcast overall through YouTube. When you go to the Voice of Alexandria live stream page, you can also access that when you go to our voiceofalexandria.com website and just look for the Cardinal Sports live event to link up to us via YouTube. It's a 4th and 4, and Chaska is going for it here, trying to get the conversion. Welter, the quarterback, is going to run to the left side, and he's got the first down. He kind of went behind the left side of the Hawks offensive line and was very patient at navigating through different holes and seams, and he needed about 4. He got that with a yard, actually 2 yards to spare, and 4 fresh downs again for the Chaska Hawks. And they are on the move just outside of the Alexandria 20-yard line.
I think it was Trey Peffer amongst a couple of his teammates making that tackle.
The line of scrimmage is the Alexandria 22 on what will be play number 2 of the fourth period. The Hawks are now 2 for 2 on 4th down, both of those conversions in this series. Udofo is going to get the handoff, but again, as he tried to turn the corner, he got wrapped up quite well and could not get to the edge.
I think that was Brett Thornberg again.
Boy, he's had a knack of being around the football throughout the course of tonight's game.
Closing in on double digits in tackles on my count, which means he probably's got 12 or 13.
Yeah, no gain for Udofo there, so he's now averaging about 4 yards per rush. Chaska's in need of some points. Alexandria has pitched the shutout into the fourth quarter. 21-0 for the visiting Cardinals. Welter, the quarterback, is going to fake the handoff. He'll pitch it right side. It is caught to the outside, the receiver, and a late flag is going to come down. Trey Castilla III is going to get the reception, and now we have a second penalty flag coming down as that play was going to the outside.
Wonder if they don't have a legal block and then a flag for late hit out of bounds.
Yeah, we might have offsetting penalties. I know the head official here is talking with a couple of his workers that are working the crew tonight. And looks like both flags have been set down at the 11-yard line, which is where Casilla went out of bounds. And still the discussion going on. The Chaska students down below us off to the right getting fired up for their football team in anticipation of possibly seeing that first score of 2024. It has yet to come as Alexandria has bent a little bit at times tonight, but the Cardinals defense has not allowed Chaska into the end zone. Play is stopped with 10:35 to go in the fourth quarter. Alexandria leading by a score of 21-0. Our scoreboard updates being brought to you by Glenwood State Bank. Now we get the revelation of the penalties, I believe. And one is a
chop block.
Yep, chop block on Chaska.
Or crackback block.
And that's a personal foul. And then we've got a personal foul on Alexandria. And that might be that late hit, Tim, that you had mentioned there. And I think what it means is the penalties are going to offset. Or would they?
I don't know if they
I would
replay the.
Okay, so they're going to let the catch. Yep, it looks like they're going to spot the ball at the 13-yard line. And, you know, it's interesting. I thought those both would have been personal foul penalties.
Well,
but,
the one on Alexandria is probably a dead ball foul.
Yeah.
So maybe they went back 10. I don't know.
Yeah.
Back 10 and up 15.
Yeah, it's going to be a 9-yard gain as it all comes out.
So is that a first down play?
No, I believe they're going to repeat second down here.
It was second down when Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be 2nd down and 1. So the last gain does count here. So 2nd and short. Welter, the quarterback's going to hand off, and Engelman got wrapped up. If he, I don't think he got the first down. I think he got stopped right at the line of scrimmage there.
Yeah, Lemke and Thornburg in on that.
So it'll be 3rd down and short for the Chaska Hawks, and they have gone for first downs on 4th down twice, and this is likely 4-down territory. What's really strange so far, well, I'm not going to say it. I'll wait till after the 3rd down snap here, and the quarterback, Welter, is actually going to sneak it behind his center, and he'll surge forward down to the 11-yard line, and that should be enough for a Hawks first down. It will on a gain of 3.
Trey Peffer and a couple of our defensive tackles in on that tackle.
And as I was about to say, up until that gain by the quarterback, Welter, the Hawks were 0 for 8 on 3rd down. Now they're 1 for 9, and this sustained drive continues for Chaska.
You got the DMAG jinx just for thinking it.
Yes, we can count that in play here. So 1st down and 10 at the 12-yard line. Engelman getting into the 2nd level here, and he might have enough for another first down. I think that may have been Thornburg, or no, I'm sorry, not Brett Thornburg, but
Evan Clute.
Yep, and I think Brody Berg was back there as well,
okay.
But that's a gain of 9 yards, so a quick opener there, and it is now 2nd down and short. So Engelman has provided a spark on the ground for Chaska here in this second half of play.
Movement.
Yep, and that's going to move it back, and I could see Evan Clute across the way basically aiming his index finger to the east direction here, thinking we were going to have the foul called. So I believe only the 4th foul on Chaska in tonight's game. Alexandria, I believe, to this point has committed just 2 fouls. So it'll be 2nd down and 6. The Hawks need to get to the 3 for the first down and need 9 yards for a touchdown. 8:40 to go in the 4th quarter. Here's Welter throwing a little seam pass over the middle, and it's broken up. Oh, it nearly became a catch. I think that was Epley coming over the middle, but that was into some strong coverage there by Alexandria.
I think that was Evan Clute. Yeah, because we got Gorguber on this side of the field. Or no, I believe that was Brett Thornburg that broke it up.
All right, so 3rd down coming up. Chaska started at the Alexandria 45-yard line. This is going to be the, I believe, the 15th play of the series here. So it's come in small bits of yardage here and there. 3rd down and almost 7 for Chaska. Here is Welter throwing to the end zone. That's going to be too high for the intended receiver, Quinn Meyer. And now a decision time again for Coach Dahl with a 4th down coming up.
Gorguber on that coverage.
So it will be 4th down for the Chaska Hawks. Chaska 2 for 2 on 4th down. Both of those conversions on this series. The Hawks only 1 for 10 now on 3rd down. And the offensive unit will stay out there. So can Alexandria rise up and get a defensive stand? Welter, the quarterback, works out of the shotgun. He's going to roll to his left. Will he tuck it in? He's going to turn upfield, looking for the end zone, and he has the first down. He does not have the touchdown, but I think he got to the edge. And it will be 1st down and goal to go for the Chaska Hawks.
I believe that was Dean Lemke that chased him out.
Yeah, so a gain of 7 there on the 4th down run for Welter. So now another set of downs for the Chaska Hawks. That's now 4 first downs on this series, and all have come on the ground. So the Hawks now basically 2 yards away, a little more than 2 yards away from getting those first points. Welter hands off to Adolfo, and he's into the end zone, and Chaska has spoiled Alexandria's shutout bid as Anabieto Udolfo scores from 3 yards out. And it's now Alexandria 21, Chaska 6. So it took until 7:52 remained in the fourth quarter for the Hawks to get on the board, but they will not be shut out in the season opener by Alexandria tonight. 21-6 in favor of the Alexandria Cardinals, and now Meyer is in to try the extra point. The holder will be Sam Summer. Ball placed down, the kick is up, and it is wide to the left, no good. So the Hawks do not convert on their point after touchdown kick. We're going to hear a message or one message from one of our terrific Alexandria Cardinal sports boosters. But before we get you there, let's update the numbers on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard. It now reads Alexandria 21, Chaska 6.
A successful win isn't about the score. It's about what you put into the game. If a successful win matters to you on the purchase or sale of your property, hard work matters to me. Todd Whiting, Century 21, 766-2200.
Cenex Midtown Express has fresh made pizza, lunch and breakfast sandwiches, and broaster chicken, live bait, propane, and diesel fuel. Cenex Garfield has groceries, bait, and tackle, and made to order pizza. Cenex Midtown Express, Alexandria, and Cenex Garfield.
The Chaska Hawks did not have a long field to work with. They actually started at the Alexandria 45-yard line. The Cardinal defense made the Hawks work. It ended up being a 16-play series. You had 3 fourth-down conversions and 1 third-down conversion on that drive, and it was Anabieta Dolfo scoring from 3 yards out. The point after touchdown kick was no good, so 2-possession lead for Alexandria and a 15-point margin. The Hawks are going to kick off here, and it's going to be a bouncing kick, and Mason Gorghuber is going to retrieve it at the 16-yard line, and he worked out of bounds on the near side out to the 18. So I think Alexandria might have been anticipating a possible onside kick there, but Chaska will end up kicking it deep, and the Cardinals will start inside their own 20-yard line, and this is only the second time tonight that the Cardinals have started inside their 20. The other time was back in the first half after Alexandria was able to get a strip sack of the quarterback Welter and a fumble that the Cardinals recovered.
Good news on that last drive. As you said, it took them 16 plays to score. They ate up over 7 minutes of the clock.
Yeah, and now let's see if Alexandria can find some offense here and maybe churn for a few first downs of their own and drain much of the rest of the clock. They'd be happy to take home a win if they can hold Chaska to the point total where it's at right now. Handoff will go to Mac Height, and not able to get through. Chaska really fired up on defense. That was not Height, rather Brody Berg on the last carry for the Alexandria Cardinals. And that will be spotted at the 18-yard line, so no gain there. And it'll be a second down and 10 yards to go.
Looked like we were trying to go with a little misdirection there, but Chaska had it figured out.
Now you've got 3 receivers to the right side. The lone receiver to the left side is Samson Hagstrom. Running back to the right of Chase Thompson, who rolls to his right, looking to throw. Now he's going to throw it deep downfield for Evan Klute, and some contact there, and I think Klute's asking for the interference call, and I think it finally does come down. So a penalty flag here, I believe, on the Chaska Hawks, and that should be a first down by defensive penalty on the pass interference. You know, not a bad decision at all, Tim, for Chase Thompson to go up top, especially for a tall receiver like Evan Klute.
Well, you know, Chaska is really, selling out for the run, and even when we are trying to throw the possession-type passes, they're covering those pretty tight and getting some pressure on Thompson. So they rolled him out that time, and he did draw double coverage, but was able to draw the penalty too.
The defensive penalty on Chaska results in just the second first down this half for the Alexandria Cardinals. In spite of that, Alexandria still leads by 15 with 7:04 to go in the fourth quarter. 21-6 for the Cards. Good snap back to Thompson. Deep drop back. Here's a little screen over the middle, and it's not going to go anywhere. Chaska did a nice job reading that as they had some defenders in there. So,
yeah, they read that extremely well.
Yep, so that will bring up second down. And no gain there on that completion.
Well, we're trying to loosen them up a little bit. We threw deep and we threw a screen pass.
Chase Thompson unofficially now in the game, 9 for 18 for 130 yards, no touchdowns and no interceptions. Brody Berg in the backfield. You've got 3 receivers to the left side and single receiver to the right. And that pass will go to the right side, and the catch is going to be made by Evan Clute. He kind of laid his body out and caught it at about the 38-yard line. That'll be a pickup of about 5.
Yeah, it was a little behind him, but I think he had to throw it there to keep it away from the defender, and Evan making a nice adjustment on that ball and making the catch.
The Alexandria Cardinals tonight on third down are 4 for 8. They have not converted on their last 3 first down attempts. Let's see how good the DMAC jinx can work in reverse here. Cardinals need to get the ball up to their own 43-yard line. Thompson looking to throw. He'll air it out right side. Clute nearly had the grab, and he was trying to come down with it, but Chaska had a couple of defenders nearby, and although that ended up being a near athletic catch for Clute, it ends up being an incompletion.
Yeah, he really went up and tried to get that one. He just couldn't quite bring it down.
So, Chaska defensively, the Hawks have been solid in this second half of play. The Cards scored on 3 of their first 4 possessions of the night, and now have had 4 possessions in the second half and no points.
Punting with the wind now.
Yeah, let's see if Daniel Jackson can get a good boot. The line of scrimmage is the 37-yard line. He does get a high kick. Fair catch is being signaled for, and it will be made at the 26-yard line. And the Hawks will take over after a punt of, I believe, 37 yards off the foot of Daniel Jackson. 21-6 our scores. We are in period number 4 here at Chaska High School Athletic Stadium. Along with Tim Zupfer, I am DMAC Dave McClurg. The videographer for our live streaming tonight, JP Boline. Jackson is our KXRA studio engineer for the radio coverage back at KXRA. Here is Matthew Welter looking to, nope, he's going to keep the ball himself, and I think he's going to be stopped back behind the line of scrimmage. Nope, that ball did actually get touched by somebody else. That was Trey Castilla, the third, and it ends up being a loss on the play of about 4 yards.
And I think it was Brett Thornburg again. I have him now for 10 tackles.
And it will be a 4-yard loss, so second down and 14. Welter looking to throw, and the completion not made, and that's going to stop the clock with 4:52 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Credit Dean Lemke for the pressure there.
So third down and long here for Chaska. We saw the Hawks gamble with fourth down chances on that last series in which the Hawks were able to score, but they're in a little more difficult field position here, operating inside their own 25-yard line. The Hawks are only 1 for 10 on third down tonight. They need about 13, 14 yards for the conversion. Here is Welter looking to throw. The pass tipped up in the air, and it's going to be incomplete.
Gorghuber on the coverage.
Yep, and that first down, or the receiver was right near the first down sticks. That was Tyler Forrest, but again, Mason Gorghuber was able to break that up. So incomplete pass brings up fourth down.
Looks like they are bringing the punt team out.
Yep.
Based on the field position here, back on their own 24.
So the Cardinals set to get the football back. Time is definitely an ally for Alexandria now as we're under 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Quinn Meyer in to punt, and it's going to be a punt that may have been tipped, and now a loose ball, and it's going to be out at the 45-yard line, and I think Chaska got it back when Alexandria didn't handle it cleanly. At least the Hawks football players are indicating they've got it, but the officials overrule them as it may have been Brett Thornburg kind of in the fray there who may have gotten the ball back.
Well, we had penetration in the punt. I think we partially blocked it, too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It looked to have an ugly trajectory there, and it ended up being a 22-yard punt. 30-second break for us here. Under 5 to go in the fourth. Glenwood State Bank scoreboard in Chaska for prep football. Alexandria leads the Hawks 21-6.
At Erickson's, we're your go-to experts for your furnace, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical. We have prompt and courteous service because your comfort is our commitment.
Erickson's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
A successful win isn't about the score. It's about what you put into the game. If a successful win matters to you on the purchase or sale of your property, hard work matters to me. Todd Whiting, Century 21, 766-2200.
The Alexandria Cardinals will run the football on the first down attempt here, and nice gain up the middle there for Brody Berg, one of his better runs of the second half.
Yeah, exactly what we needed at that point. Nice job at the line of scrimmage by our lineman, and he wasn't touched till he was a good 6 yards down the field.
Alexandria has just one offensive first down this entire second half. No points since intermission, but the Cardinals still lead 21-6. This game being played in Chaska. Chase Thompson, the quarterback, will hand off. Berg trying to get behind the right side of that offensive line. He'll be very close to a first down, but
I think he's just short, but he did get positive yardage.
Yeah, and obviously hung onto the ball, and that's going to keep the clock moving. Dylan Gray, Jack Morissette helping to form that right side of the offensive line. Center Ashton Sladek as well for the Cardinals. When Alexandria snaps the ball, we will be down to about 3 minutes and 15 seconds. We're under 3:30 right now. Cardinals up by 15, trying to defeat Chaska in the season opener for a second straight year. Now a high snap, but it is handled, and Berg kind of lunges forward, and I think he's got the first down.
That time we put another man in the backfield, and I think that helped us get the push we needed there.
Yeah, almost like an H-back, would you say, Tim?
Yeah, I think so. And I think it might have been Lucas Fernholz.
So conversion there. And
they got him down short.
Oh, really? So not
Knee
enough.
Must have been down.
Yeah, I thought that was enough for the first down. So looks like the Cardinals will go for it on fourth down here. So needing just a few inches, and if Alexandria can convert here, it could move in a positive direction to try to seal the game. I think Chaska was able to take a timeout on defense there, so that stops the clock with 3:01 to go in period number 4. Alexandria led 7-0 after one quarter. The Cardinals were up 21-0 at halftime. No scoring in the third quarter, so this second half, Chaska's actually held Alexandria off the board while scoring the only touchdown.
Look what we're doing here, Dave.
Oh, Daniel Jackson in for a field goal. 54 yards from the right hash mark. Evan Clute will be the holder, and I believe Blake Scholl will snap the ball. Ball's placed down. Jackson puts his foot on the ball. Kick is up, and it is gone!
Boy, that would have been good from 60.
He makes it from 54 yards out, and just like that, Alexandria has taken a 3-possession lead. So Daniel Jackson is able to come through with a 54-yard field goal, and the Cards get their first points of the half with 2:55 to go. It's now Alexandria 24, Chaska 6. So Daniel Jackson able to get the field goal. Cardinals go 9 yards, 3 plays, And Daniel Jackson's foot gives Alexandria that 3-possession lead. And
was his long last year, 53?
I think it was.
I think so too.
I know he had a couple of long field goals, 50 plus, but I would not be surprised if this is a personal record for him, and it wouldn't surprise me if he breaks that personal record before his senior season's done.
Well, it takes a little bit of guts to put him out there. You're concerned if he misses giving up the field position, but
right.
But boy, what a weapon.
And, of course, he had a little bit of a breeze at his back, but let's not say the wind helped to aid that.
No,
he's got a strong leg.
Yes, he does.
I mean, on a calm night, he might have been able to hit that. And now he's going to get another kick into the end zone for a touchback. So basically every time he gets set to kick off, he sends it 60 yards into the end zone, and Chaska will start on its own 20-yard line. Now, the only redeeming factor for the Hawks there is that no time went off the clock when you get a ball that gets sent into the end zone.
And that field goal does make it a 3-score game now.
Yep, so 2:55 our time remaining. I tell you what, Tim, why don't we make Daniel Jackson's field goal our smoke and bruising cue, smoke and play of tonight's game? When the offense was kind of looking to get a little mojo here in the second half, he provided the right tonic. So Daniel Jackson is going to get a certificate for a pulled pork meal, compliments of Smoke and Brews and Q's in Alexandria. Now Matthew Welter, the quarterback, looking to throw a high pass, and it is almost caught out at the 45-yard line. Trey Castilla III, I think, may have been held by one of the Alexandria backs, but it seems to me, Tim, that the ball touched the hands before the contact was made.
I thought so, too. The ball was thrown a little bit behind the receiver, and he reached back for it, and then we reached back to make the tackle. It was bang-bang.
So it's going to be a defensive pass interference penalty on Alexandria. Second defensive pass interference that the Cardinals have been hit with in tonight's game. And for Chaska, it's going to be a first down, number 15 on the night.
Unfortunately, Brett Thornburg does not get credited with a pass breakup there.
Yeah, so 4 fresh downs now as the ball is at the 35-yard line. Chaska on its own side of the field. Hawks only have 2 timeouts remaining. And now Welter looking to throw, and a pass left side, broken up.
Yeah, he had it, but he bobbled it, and then Thomas Hinrichs there, Johnny on the spot, ready to break things up.
So an incompletion brings up second down and 10 yards to go. Want to remind you that once our play-by-play wraps up, whether you're joining us on the live video stream on YouTube or through the Voice of Alexandria app or KXRA Radio, we hope you'll stick around for the post-game report presented to you by Juttner Motors of Alexandria following our play-by-play. 2 minutes and 44 seconds of game time remains in this one at Chaska. The visiting Alexandria Cardinals up by 18. Welter will look to throw, rolling to the right, pass to the right. May have been tipped by Thornburg here. It does go incomplete. So third down coming up. Why should we not be surprised, Tim, that Brett Thornburg is in the vicinity of the ball?
He's been around the ball most of the game.
So now a third down and 10 yards to go. Alexandria hoping to get 2 more defensive stops and get the football back and try to drain the remaining time on the clock.
We've been close to getting a QB sack. Let's get one here.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad deal either. Cardinals did get 3 sacks back in the first half. Here's Welter looking to throw, pitch to the right side, catch is made, and a spin move, and I think that second effort by the receiver, Jacob Welter, is going to result in the first down.
Aiden Schneiderhan eventually making the tackle there.
Yeah, so the Hawks will move quickly here, getting just a second, third down conversion in tonight's game. And we do have a player on the field for Chaska, so that is going to stop the clock with an injury timeout.
Is that the quarterback?
It may be.
Looks like a cramp.
Yeah, hopefully that will be worked out and will be set to go here momentarily. Home opener for the Alexandria Cardinal football team will be a week from tomorrow night, Friday, September 6th, Alexandria versus Monticello at Viking Bank Field on the Alexandria Area High School campus. Hope to see you there. If you can't make it, we hope you'll join us either on YouTube for the live video stream and the KXRA radio audio. Our broadcast will begin with the Juttner Motors pregame show a week from tomorrow night at approximately 6:40. One team that has yet to begin, or actually two teams that have yet to begin their regular season, the Alexandria girls cross-country running team and the Alexandria boys cross-country running team. We do wish the runners the very best tomorrow. Looks like they'll have a fine day to compete in the Run for Your Melon event in Brainerd, which has been a traditional season opener for Travis Hohalter's Alexandria Cardinals.
They started that when I was still coaching in the cross-country program.
Yeah, it's one of those unique events. Of course, a lot of those meets in late August, early September coincide with the harvest. So I believe prizes of produce are going to be awarded tomorrow, and then I think some watermelon and some other melons are going to be served up to the athletes once they get done with their competition. The event is scheduled to begin tomorrow morning at Forest View Middle School in Brainerd at approximately 10 o'clock. And again, good luck to the Alexandria cross-country runners as they embark on their 2024 regular season. The player that was a little bit slow in getting up was actually running back Morgan Engeman, so he is actually being helped over to the sideline. So unfortunately, something a little more serious than a cramps.
Well, I don't know. I think he might have just a really tight Charlie horse right there.
Yeah. So they'll work on that on the sideline. Here's Matthew Welter looking to throw, and now he's pressured, and he'll get the ball away, and it's incomplete. And, boy, I tell you, Cardinals had 3 or 4 defenders in the backfield there.
Yeah, Jack Morissette and also Blake Scholl both getting their hands on him, but not quite a grasp.
2:22 our time remaining now here in the fourth quarter. Glenwood State Bank scoreboard has the Alexandria Cardinals leading the Chaska Hawks by 18. It is 24-6. The Cardinals were up by 21 at the break, so ever since Alexandria scored about 8 minutes into the game, the Cardinals have played with the advantage. Here is a pass. Welter's throw nearly got picked off there. It was kind of a dual possession opportunity. Habez Jobira was the intended receiver, but the Cardinals had a defender right there.
Talon Witt breaking that up.
So now it's 3rd down and 10 yards to go. The Hawks have been able to possess the football quite a bit. They've actually had 8 first downs this half compared to just 2 for Alexandria. But still, it's what do you have on the scoreboard? And this half, though the Hawks have outscored the Cards by 3, it's still a lead for Alexandria. And now another 3rd down conversion will be forthcoming here as it's going to be Jacob Welter on the reception there for a pickup of about 11 yards.
Yeah, quarterback doing a nice job of getting that ball away, and then a quick tackle by Aiden Schneiderhan also.
So Chaska, after going 1 for 11 on 3rd down, now has a pair of 3rd down conversions on this series. Here's a pass left side intended for Trey Castilla III, and it's incomplete.
And Talon Witt was in on the coverage again.
So that will stop the clock with 1:57 seconds to go. Tim, I know that you've been kind of tracking progress on the interweb of some of the other scores going on. I know at Huntington Bank Stadium, the Minnesota Golden Gophers got their game delayed because of the thunderstorms that moved through. Is it looking golden for the Gophers so far? Or?
It is now. They missed a field goal early, went down 7-0, but lead 14-7 at half.
Okay, very good. So midway through that game over on the U of M campus. Here's Jacob Welter throwing over the, or Matthew Welter, I'm sorry, throwing over the middle, and the pass is incomplete. So 3rd down will be coming up for the Chaska Hawks. Again, Chaska has actually done a nice job here in the 4th period especially. Their one scoring drive and now this drive, they have done well on the 3rd down conversions and the 4th down conversions. It's the 1st down and 2nd downs that haven't produced a whole lot for the Hawks. So while they've made it hard on themselves, they have been getting some late down conversions here in the 4th quarter. Welter will look to throw. Pass left side is going to be too high for the intended receiver, Jobira, and that will bring up 4th down.
We had Dane Olson in on the coverage that time.
So this might be the last offensive play of the night for the Chaska Hawks unless they get a 4th down conversion. And so far tonight, Chaska is 3 for 3 on 4th down. All 3 of those 4th down conversions came on their scoring drive earlier in the 4th period. Chaska has 1 touchdown this half and took more than 7 minutes off the clock to get it. 4th and 10. Now Matthew Welter in trouble, and there's a quarterback sack back at midfield.
And we had Kyan Kramer in on that tackle.
Yeah, and I think Evan Zabel was able to get back to the quarterback as well, so that's going to be a sack of Welter, and the Chaska Hawks are going to end up turning the ball over on downs, and Alexandria will possess it and will look to merely run out the clock from here. Chaska having 2 timeouts remaining, but Alexandria in excellent position here to start the season at 1-0. And I think for the Cardinals defense, a 4th quarterback sack in tonight's game, but that's the first one since the opening half. And good to get a 4th down stop in the 4th quarter to keep this 18-point lead intact. Alexandria 24, Chaska 6. The Cardinals will scrimmage from the Chaska Hawks 49-yard line. Again, 4 receivers set, 1 in the backfield here, and that is Brody Berg, and he'll just kind of run behind the left side of the offensive line here and pick up a couple of yards. Forward progress will be given to the 47.
Talon Witt handing that ball off to him that time.
So the Cardinals utilizing a different quarterback.
They've got a number of subs in there. I see Brady Gunberg on the field.
Yeah, and some others as well for the Alexandria Cardinals. And Talon Witt will hand off, and I think we've got a new ball carrier for the Cardinals. That's, I believe, Lucas Fernholtz, who got the last carry there, and he'll lunge forward for about 3 yards.
Got some new linemen in there. Jensen Martinson. Looks like Spencer Kleindl.
3rd down and 5 yards to go. Clock now under a minute remaining in tonight's game. Alexandria will win the season opener against Chaska for a 3rd consecutive time. So a little bit of symmetry that 50 seasons ago when Alexandria won the state Class A football title, they capped it off with a victory over the Chaska Hawks. Here it's on the other side of the season at the beginning. And on 3rd down, Lucas Fernholtz got close to the 4th down conversion.
They gave it to him.
Yep. So that will be a gain of 5 yards and 4 fresh downs. And now the Cardinals don't have to snap the ball anymore. So this one will go in the books as an Alexandria victory, as the congratulatory handshake line will be formed. Alexandria will head home after an encouraging performance. The offense quite productive in the first half. The defense solid all night long. And Alexandria gets the win by 18 at the Chaska High School Stadium. Tonight's final on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard reads Alexandria 24, Chaska 6. That will do it for our play-by-play during our broadcast here on People Radio, KXRA Alexandria, 1490 AM, 100.3 FM, 105.7 FM, live audio through your Voice of Alexandria app, live audio and video as well through our YouTube page. And you can access that through the voiceofalexandria.com website. Go to our sports options and then click on the Cardinal Sports Live event, and that will take you to the Voice of Alexandria live stream page on YouTube. 24-6, Alexandria's into the winner's circle. Tim Zupfer and yours truly, Dave McClurg, will be back to talk about it after we hear these words from our Alexandria Cardinals sports boosters.
At Erickson's, we're your go-to experts for your furnace, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical. We have prompt and courteous service because your comfort is our commitment.
Erickson's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Hi, Carl Qualley with Qualley Real Estate. Our business approach is based on what we call the 4 E's: experience, expertise, ethics, and energy. Qualities that led us to be voted Best Real Estate Company 3 years in a row. Find your real estate coach at Qualley Real Estate, where we protect your money.
Enjoy life at the lake and work for a growing company that offers rewarding careers and cares about your well-being. AGuard. We build cool machines and are hiring for multiple positions across the organization. Plus, no-cost health benefits for you and your family.
Better water starts with EcoWater. Get started today and discover EcoWater's products and expertise for the perfect solution. Visit WeFixWaterMN.com with offices in Alexandria, Fergus Falls, Glenwood, and Morris.
Feel confident. Feel inspired. Embrace your unique beauty at 6th and Broadway Clothing. From expertly curated collections to personalized styling and color analysis services, you can embrace style as beautiful as you.
I'm a nurse at heart. I went into this to take care of other people.
What we say as nurses and as teammates matters here.
Come on over, you'll love it. You will get to experience so many things and help many people.
Where you start today is not where you'll finish tomorrow. At Alexandria College, we know you have big plans for the future. Find your calling and be a legend.
When you want your closing to go as smooth as possible, ask for Integrity Title. We may be a bit obsessed about our jobs and the details that go into it, but that's what makes us such a good choice for your real estate closing. Ask for Integrity Title, the title closing geeks.
You've seen them, craved them. You voted them the best. Their Smoke and Brews and Q's get their unreal smoked barbecue for catering, drop-offs, or events.
Hi, this is Schmitty from Smoke and Brews and Q's. Our obsession is the meat, our passion is what makes it great.
Casa Jalisco. Take a trip south of the border to a place where you can savor the flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine. Casa Jalisco offers a true taste of Mexico without the airfare. Casa Jalisco, your Mexican getaway in downtown Alexandria.
Get great service at Alexandria Motors. Serving your family for generations and generations to come. Stop in for a great deal on your next vehicle. Alexandria Motors. One low price, plain and simple, always.
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles to Quality Toyota to get a great deal, and we've done it 13 times.
Quality Toyota.
One at the break. And then both teams really played solid defense in the second half. Chaska offensively actually had more yards in the second half than did Alexandria, but the Cardinals held the Hawks to just one touchdown after halftime, and Alexandria got a nice special teams play late to cap off the scoring to make it an 18-point game. Hello once again, along with Ross Henricks. I am DMAC Dave McClurg, welcoming you to our Jutner Motors post-game report. Coming to you on KXRA Radio, through your Voice of Alexandria app, and also through our live video stream on YouTube. Tim, a game where I thought, Alexandria showed some good things. I know that offensively it was not, the Cardinals did very little on the offensive side of the ball in the second half. And, it's interesting because Mike Empting mentioned during one of his pregame remarks that he thought Chaska's defense was really solid, getting to the ball and, winning some battles up front, a little bit like his team's defense. So I think we referenced it during the second half of the play-by-play that it ended up becoming a little bit of an offensive struggle, if you will.
Well, I think you hit it on the nail on the head there. Chaska's defense played really, really well. They stopped our running game. They made it difficult for us to throw the possession type passes and kind of forced us to throw the ball downfield a little bit more. But we did the job offensively in the first half and cashing in when we did. Our defense was solid. I mean, we did give up that one touchdown. However, at that point in the game, being up 21-0, we made them take over 7 minutes off the clock. to do that. So we were winning the time of possession at that point, and I think coach is probably a little frustrated with the running game not being quite as successful as they probably had hoped. But yet, when we did get the ball down near the end zone, we were able to punch it in via the run.
That's right. 3 short touchdown runs in the opening half for the Alexandria Cardinals. Brody Berg scored 2 of them. Mac Height scored the other. Alexandria would be held without a touchdown in the second half of play, but the special teams once again proved to be special for Alexandria when Daniel Jackson kicked a 54-yard field goal with just under 3 minutes to go to cap off the scoring. It put Alexandria up by 3 possessions at that point, 18-point advantage at 24-6. During this part of our Juttner Motors postgame report, we'll go through a scoring recap, and then when we get back to Chaska for our final segment, then we'll go through some statistical numbers and we'll introduce the Alexandria Cardinal offensive and defensive players of tonight's game. After Chaska moved the ball, getting 4 first downs on their opening series, the Hawks went from their 20 into Alexandria territory. In fact, got inside the Alexandria 35-yard line. Then on a 3rd down attempt, the Cardinals were able to get a quarterback sack, and that prevented Chaska from going for it on 4th down. The Hawks would end up punting the ball away in spite of having the possession at the Alexandria 43. It was a short punt, only 18 yards, and the Cardinals started at their own 25. A couple of passes thrown by Chase Thompson were incomplete, but then on 3rd down, he went up top and he found one of his favorite receivers, senior Evan Clute. It ended up being a 55-yard catch and run that flipped out the field position in favor of the visitors. And though Alexandria would end up getting a couple of more first downs before they got points, they were able to get on the scoreboard late in the first period. With under 4 minutes remaining, Mac Height scored from 2 yards out. The extra point kick was good by Daniel Jackson, and at the end of 1 quarter of play, Alexandria was up 7-0. After Chaska punted a second time, the Cardinals took over at their 42-yard line in the second period and put together a nice sustained march. 58 yards in 12 plays, 4 first downs on the series, and Brody Berg capped it off with a 3-yard run. Jackson's extra point made it Alexandria 14, Chaska nothing, with 10:43 to go until halftime. Then the Cardinals' defense got into the act, forcing a turnover. The only turnover in tonight's game, by the way. The Hawks were moving 3 first downs as they advanced from their own 20-yard line inside the Alexandria 10. But then on a 3rd and goal play, the Cardinals were able to get a quarterback sack, and the ball got stripped out of the possession of Matthew Welter, and Brett Thornburg was able to fall on the football, and the Cardinals turned the Chaska Hawks away, and it remained 14-0. We had a couple of punts back and forth, and then Alexandria scored right before halftime. A 5-play, 43-yard drive capped off by a 5-yard touchdown run from Brody Berg. Daniel Jackson's extra point in the final half minute of the first half put the Cardinals up 21-0 at the break. No scoring in the 3rd period as both teams' defenses really shined. Chaska was able to bridge the 3rd and 4th quarters with a sustained drive. They went 45 yards, did the Hawks, but it required 16 plays to get it done. 3 times on that series, Chaska converted on 4th down, and I believe those were runs by the quarterback, Matthew Welter, and Chaska got its first 3rd down conversion of the game. Ultimately, it ended up being Anabiatu Dofo, a senior running back who scored from 3 yards out. The point after touchdown kick was no good, and in the 4th quarter, with under 8 minutes to go, Chaska was down by 15, 21-6. The Cardinals then later in the period were able to get the ball just inside the Chaska territory. The Cards went about 8-9 yards and settled for a field goal attempt on 4th down and less than 2 yards. But Daniel Jackson was able to come through. And let's give a little credit as well to his holder, Evan Clute, and the long snapper, Blake Scholl, helping to make that good kick possible. And Jackson boomed it through from 54 yards out. Alexandria led 24-6, and that ended up being the final score in tonight's game. So the Cardinals get the road victory. Chaska suffers a home loss, and the Cards now 1-0 going into their home opener against Monticello 8 days from now. This is the post-game report presented to you by Juttner Motors of Alexandria. One more break, and then we'll go inside the numbers. We'll have some player of the game announcements, and we'll wrap up our coverage from Chaska after this timeout.
It's the right time for a getaway. It's the right time for a getaway. Let's get away.
Dentistry at the Center knows all about busy schedules, and that's one of the best things about having 3 dentists. We have more appointment times available, so we can see you sooner. So, for dentist appointments to fit your schedule better, come see the friendly folks at Dentistry at the Center.
Welcome to the spirit of Lake Town hospitality. Welcome to D. Mike's Resort Bar and Grill. From legacy locals, seasonal visitors, to traveling teams, you are our community. Come share in our rustic flavors, modern flair, and authentic roots. Legacy inspired, community infused.
Grow your savings faster with Bell Bank's new Elite Money Market Savings Account. Earn 4.33% annual percentage yield and access your cash when you need it. Switch to higher savings rates today. Visit bell.bank to learn more.
I see generations who are passionate about what they did. I hope that I can leave a legacy of compassion for people and love for family and friends.
At Erickson's, we're your go-to experts for your furnace, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical. We have prompt and courteous service because your comfort is our commitment.
Erickson's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Feel confident. Feel inspired. Embrace your unique beauty at 6th and Broadway Clothing. From expertly curated collections to personalized styling and color analysis services, you can embrace style as beautiful as you.
I'm a nurse at heart. I went into this to take care of other people.
What we say as nurses and as teammates matters here.
Come on over, you'll love it. You will get to experience so many things and help many people.
Where you start today is not where you'll finish tomorrow. At Alexandria College, we know you have big plans for the future. Find your calling and be a legend.
When you want your closing to go as smooth as possible, ask for Integrity Title. We may be a bit obsessed about our jobs and the details that go into it, but that's what makes us such a good choice for your real estate closing. Ask for Integrity Title, the title closing geeks.
You've seen them, craved them. You voted them the best. Their Smoke and Brews and Q's get their unreal smoked barbecue for catering, drop-offs, or events.
Hi, this is Schmitty from Smoke and Brews and Q's. Our obsession is the meat, our passion is what makes it great.
Hi, Carl Qualley with Qualley Real Estate. Our business approach is based on what we call the 4 E's: experience, expertise, ethics, and energy. Qualities that led us to be voted best real estate company 3 years in a row. Find your real estate coach at Qualley Real Estate, where we protect your money.
We welcome you back to the Chaska High School Stadium, where the Alexandria Cardinal football team has began 2024 on a winning note, defeating Chaska for a second consecutive year, 24-6. The Cardinals scored 7 in the opening period, 14 in the second, 3 in the fourth. The Chaska Hawks got their only touchdown in the fourth period, and Alexandria gets the win by 18. Checking out some of the unofficial statistics in tonight's game, comparative team numbers, plays from scrimmage, and this might reflect when Tim shares the time of possession numbers in a few minutes. 60 plays for Chaska in this game, 49 for Alexandria. So the Hawks offense was on the field a little bit more in the second half, but again, the Cardinals defense basically forced Chaska to earn that yardage, and as a result, the Hawks ran more plays from scrimmage in this game. Total offense unofficially, very close overall. 210 yards for the Alexandria Cardinals, 206 for Chaska. So these two teams combined to allow less than 450 yards of offense in tonight's game. First downs in the game, Chaska had 17, Alexandria had 10. At the half, the Hawks were +1 in the first down category, but in the second half, Chaska had 9 first downs and Alexandria had just 3. Out of the 10 first down breakdown for the Cardinals, 2 were by defensive penalty, 4 were rushing, and 4 were passing. Chaska's offensive first down breakdown. The Hawks had 11 first downs on the ground, 5 in the air, or 4 in the air, and 2 by defensive penalty in this game. For the Alexandria Cardinals, not a lot of yardage gained on the ground overall. Brody Berg, 15 carries for 31 yards tonight. He would end up scoring on a couple of short touchdown runs in the opening half of play. Mac Height, 5 rushes for 23 yards. Quarterback Chase Thompson actually ran the football 7 times for 13 yards, and a couple of carries for Lucas Fernholz late in the game for 8 yards. The Cardinals as a team did not average 3 yards per rush tonight, 75 yards rushing in 29 carries in the game. So that's a tip that maybe Chaska was winning a few of those battles up front. Through the air, Thompson completed 10 passes out of his 20 attempts, 135 yards, and no touchdowns, also no interceptions. On the receiving end, Evan Clute caught 5 passes for 100 yards on the night, 2 catches for Mason Gorg-Huber for 12 yards, a reception for Brody Berg, which gained nothing, a reception for Mac Height, which gained 10, and Samson Hegstrom caught 1 pass for 8 yards in tonight's game. The Cardinals punter, Daniel Jackson, punted the ball 5 times. He averaged almost 41 yards per punt with a long of 56. He was also 1 for 1 on his field goal attempt, and that came from 54 yards in the fourth quarter. The Alexandria penalty summary was 3 defensive penalties on the night for a loss of 45 yards. So one bright spot, the Cardinals did not commit any offensive penalties in tonight's game. And that's, I think, one of the things that Coach Empting mentioned earlier in the broadcast, alignment and assignment issues, and try to keep the turnovers low. Well, I think the alignment and assignment issues, I think his guys did a real nice job tonight. And when you have a 0 in the turnover column, that obviously will benefit you in your quest to win a game. Third down conversions, Alexandria was 4 for 10 on the night. Chaska's numbers, the Hawks ran the ball for 104 yards and passed for 102. The leading ground gainer in the contest was a senior running back, Ana Bietudofo, 59 yards on 15 carries, and he would score the Chaska touchdown in tonight's game. The junior quarterback, Matthew Welter, 7 of 30 through the air for 104 yards, no touchdowns and no interceptions. His favorite target ended up being Trey Castilla III, 4 receptions for 71 yards, a couple of catches for Jacob Welter for 22 yards, and 1 reception tonight for Maxwell Epley, and that was for 11 yards in tonight's game. The Hawks punter, Quinn Meyer, attempted 6 punts. He averaged 30 yards per punt. The Hawks had 4 penalties for a loss of 30 yards in tonight's game. 1 turnover, that was a strip sack and lost fumble in the second quarter of play, and that thwarted Chaska from getting on the board at a time that the Cardinals were up 14-0. Third down efficiency, Chaska was just 3 of 14 on third down in the game, and the Hawks were 3 of 4 on fourth down. So those are some of the offensive numbers. Tim, I will turn it over to you for a moment or two with some defensive stats and time of possession numbers.
But, time of possession ended up fairly even after a pretty substantial margin in the first half by Chaska. Actually, Alexandria had just under 13 minutes of possession in the second half, and Chaska only 11. So for the game, 25 and a half minutes for Chaska and about 22 and a half minutes for the Cardinals. I think, and all the numbers and things that you brought up, but I think one significant factor, just the field position. Chaska had the one time where they started on the Alexandria 45-yard line where they scored the touchdown on that drive. Otherwise, their best starting field position was the 26, their own 26-yard line. And that drive where they started from the 45, yes, they scored a touchdown, but it took them 7 minutes to do so.
Right, and 16 plays along the way.
So, I mean, the Cardinal defense really really played pretty well, over those 45 yards. But Chaska was determined and finally got the ball into the end zone. Their quarterback really making some key plays on 3rd and 4th down to do so. We called his number quite a bit tonight, Brett Thornburg. I had him for 10 tackles, and then a number of his teammates, and I know these guys in the middle of the line had more, because there were times where kind of the whole middle of the pack just kind of all had the ball carrier going down, but had 4 tackles for Jack Morissette and Dean Lemka and Aiden Schneiderhand and Evan Clute and Talon Witt, 5 for Trey Peffer, 3 for Dane Olson, 3 for Evan Zabel, 2 for Blake Scholl. And boy, he had a lot of quarterback pressures, though. Kyan Kramer with 1, Thomas Hinrichs with 1, Mac Height with 1.
Very good. So those are some of the defensive numbers in time of possession. Let's now introduce our Cardinal offensive and defensive players of tonight's game. This feature of our postgame report is being brought to you by Quality Toyota of Fergus Falls. How far would you drive for a great deal from Quality Toyota? What's your number? Visit and check out their selection online at qualitytoyota.net. Offensive side of the ball, he would end up being the team's leading point getter in tonight's game. Brody Berg, he worked hard for his yardage. He ended up carrying the ball more than a dozen times in tonight's game. And, Chaska they were very determined in trying to keep his production down. But fortunately, he was able to find the end zone twice in the first half.
Yeah, in the middle of the field, between, from 20 to 20, we didn't have any real, substantial yardage games, but boy, 3 times we had the ball inside the 7-yard line, and Brody Berg comes up with 2 big touchdown carries to put us up 21-0.
And the defensive player of tonight's game, I guess not a big surprise. It seemed like you were mentioning his name really all night long. I know it was a team defensive effort, but it seemed like Brett Thornburg was a guy who was getting his name into the stat column, and he is our defensive player of the game.
Well, and he did it in a number of ways. There were times where he blitzed and was in the backfield and made plays on he didn't strip the quarterback, but he recovered the fumble when his teammates stripped the quarterback, and he had a couple of hits back there. He was in defensive coverage quite a bit and had a number of pass breakups, and then then he also was our leading tackler for the game as well.
So congratulations to a couple of the Alexandria Cardinal players. Ironically, their names end with the part of Berg. Brody Berg and Brett Thornburg are our selections as players of the game. Again, our feature brought to you by Quality Toyota of Fergus Falls. Next up for the Alexandria Cardinal football team, the home opener a week from tomorrow night. The Monticello Magic will visit Viking Bank Field. And Tim, in some ways, I think tonight's season opener was a bit of a grinder. I think next week's game is also going to be a grinder. Alexandria earned a win at Monticello last year, but that was a game where the Cardinals kind of jumped on top, and, Monticello really played well the remainder of the night.
Yeah, it's always kind of an unknown, that first game of the year. I think there's going to be a lot of positives that our coaching staff is going to like about tonight's game, but they're going to see some things on film and things that they know they really want to clean up. So, I would anticipate there's a few things offensively, maybe blocking scheme-wise or just reading defenses, and I kind of anticipate a little bit more with our running game next week, and probably spreading the ball around a little bit more to a number of different receivers too.
Very good, and we'll look forward to bringing you the play-by-play of the Cardinal football broadcast versus Monticello. Friday, September 6th, it's a 7 o'clock kickoff on KXRA Radio through your Voice of Alexandria app. Also on YouTube for the live video streaming, partnered with the KXRA audio. And Tim, I know that you and I will also connect next week on Tuesday night for Alexandria Cardinal volleyball down in Cold Springs. So great to be back on the air with you. Enjoy your holiday weekend ahead.
I will do so. And, I know our volleyball team played tonight. I think they were at Fergus Falls, perhaps.
Yes.
But they started off with a 3-set win against Brainerd. Hopefully things went well tonight, and it'll be a big matchup in Rocori on Tuesday.
That's right. The Spartans are the defending Central Lakes Conference champions. We will take air with our broadcast just before 7 from Cold Spring on Tuesday night. My thanks to all of the Alexandria Cardinal sports boosters that presented this evening's coverage of prep football from Chaska High School Stadium. Special thanks to Juttner Motors for presenting the post-game report. Jackson has been our KXRA studio engineer for the radio broadcast in downtown Alexandria. JP, Jackson Boleen, has been our videographer on location here in Chaska. For Tim Zuffer, Dave McClurg wishing you a good evening, and once again repeating our final score in the season opener of 2024. Alexandria defeats Chaska 24-6.